All right.
It's not gonna be that seamless transition like Matt does for the Dusty Wheel, where it's like 3, 2, 1, action.
Yeah,
Well,
and
helps
it's
when you have a minion who is like
behind the scenes.
yeah, behind the scenes that like knows exactly what they're doing and is like
So we'll see.
really good
Alright.
at it.
Now live.
Yeah, you're gonna have to close that video because I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
My brain's gonna collapse here.
Oh yeah, I especially hate watching myself. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello
friends.
everybody. Hi.
It's on. We're gonna chat with you guys for a few minutes, make sure everything's good, and then we'll get started in about 5 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Just keep
Who's
topping
here
this
with
off
us?
here.
Howdy.
Howdy. Say hi. Give us a wave.
Okay. So people can hear. That's good.
People can hear us.
Sound works. Yay.
That means I did the technology right.
That's
Something
good.
like a genius.
Pretty much.
Something like a genius.
Give me my degree in computer science right now.
That's totally how that works. It's exactly how that
honorary.
works.
Yeah.
With the amount of figuring I feel that I had to do to make this work, it's embarrassing.
Well, I mean, from the beginning of like starting this, like you have learned a lot.
Oh, yes.
So I mean, there's
yeah. Well, especially with all the editing and stuff.
yeah,
That's just basically learn as you go.
Yep.
trial by fire. So
Mhm.
and now I have learned barely anything. So
How do you feel about that?
Let her do all the work.
well, see, this is the story. This is the official story that I'm sticking with, whether or not she agrees with it.
Also, it's
when we-
lives. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So when we first started, I offered and started to try to figure out how to do things. And then she stepped in and was like, no, I got this. And then it just kind of happened from there.
I thought you were going to use the word like control freak. Because
That's implied, but you know.
a little bit how I roll. But that's fine. I'm the person in the group project who's like, I'll just do it.
Yeah. I'll just do the whole
it all, and I'll make sure it gets done right, and everyone can just chill. Don't worry, guys.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I don't think that used to be me.
Okay.
Brett's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've known her long enough
Yeah.
since teenage years. So
I feel like I've gotten more neurotic the older we've gotten. Personally, anyway.
It's the
just now that
same.
you notice it because you're an adult.
yeah.
Maybe. Actually, that actually makes more sense.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move over here a little bit because I have my notes here.
Notes.
You'd be happy with the positioning?
No, I'm gonna move around a lot. But
I feel underprepared.
You should don't feel.
Nuh-uh, you're
yeah.
the guest of honor.
It doesn't even
Honor?
matter. Yeah. I'm gonna try to not boot the table too.
Boot.
Boot the table.
That was very Canadian.
You're
of you.
letting your Canadian show.
Yeah. Well, I was on. I
you're
guess
not
it
bragging.
on. Yeah, because I guessed it on Watt Spoilers. We were telling you before when we were
Yeah.
doing the test last night, and at some point, I don't know what I was talking about, but I said XYZ or something like that. Like I said Z, and then everyone in the chat was like, "Oh, Z." I'm like, "That's how you say it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I prefer Z because there's no confusing that as as accidentally confusing it as like E or whatever, you know, when you
Yeah.
There
you're
are
over the
a lot
phone
of
or
letters
something.
that rhyme, and Z is
Yeah.
not one of them.
though your milk does come in bags and that is weird.
Not where we live.
Not where we
Okay.
live. That's like a Ontario,
That's
like Toronto thing.
Although we
Okay.
did live in Toronto and at one point get our milk in bags.
Yeah, you just gotta buy a jug for it to go into.
Yeah. It's like you get a special milk pitcher
Okay.
Yeah.
that you put the bag in.
You just stab the bag and the milk goes everywhere, and you get as much as you can into one glass.
It's awfully wasteful.
That's genius is what that is. I've only been to Canada once.
Where'd you go?
I don't know where we went. It's above Detroit. Whatever's above Detroit, that's where we went.
Toronto.
Yeah.
Well,
It could have
GTA,
been.
like Sudbury.
We flew into Detroit and then got in a car and drove over a bridge, and then we were
Like
in Canada.
Windsor.
Windsor, yeah. We went to
Yeah,
a wedding.
okay.
We went to a wedding.
Okay, Windsor then. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because we've driven over that bridge. Because
Yeah.
when we were leaving Toronto,
Yeah, and it's like now entering Canada, and it's like a 1 lane or something, or it used
Yeah.
to be like a 1 lane bridge. I don't know if it is anymore.
there's
but
lots of people who like go to Canada by accident because they've made a wrong turn,
yeah,
and then
it's-
they get like stopped at.
yeah.
And then they get
Customs.
happy because it's not the US. I mean,
Yeah.
we got
Okay,
pulled
well-
over because we were going too slow. And they were just the cop. Well, we didn't get the cop followed us to the hotel, and he comes in. He's like, "Oh, I was just making sure you were okay."
Is that your Canadian?
Yeah, that's he
pretty good.
was super. It was super. Like he was. It was like it felt like he was making a joke. Like his accent was so heavy. Like I thought he was joking.
He might have been from the Maritimes.
It's good if you get stopped by like Mounties.
No,
that
this
can
is just
happen.
a regular cop.
Like,
Mhm.
yeah, because like the Mounties get up is pretty funny.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's good. We have a friend who's a Mountie,
Yeah,
That's cool.
Allie.
yeah.
All right.
Are we gonna do this thing?
I don't know. What time is it even?
Yeah, it's
Oh
8
my
o'clock.
God. It's 8 o'clock.
Oh no!
Okay. Why don't we get to the chatting and do some intros and all that stuff?
Yeah, let's do it.
Because we'll just edit this. Well, you'll just edit it down later. So
Don't say we.
yeah, this isn't a we thing. This
That's
is
fine.
a her thing. So
I'm going to start this recording.
'Kay.
So that's just going to go. And then I'm going to start this recording. Should I do I got to do my whole intro.
gotta do your whole intro.
Oh, I hate doing it live.
Yeah.
Do it. You got this.
Okay.
Believe in you.
Thanks. This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Welcome, listeners. I'm your host, Dani, and I'm the first-time reader who's going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host, Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's acting as my tour guide on this journey. And this episode is particularly special because we have a guest on with us.
Yeah, we do. And we're doing a YouTube live stream for the first time, kind of.
We're venturing out.
Yeah. So pleased to announce that we've got Thom here, and he's going to introduce himself, because I know a lot of first-time readers maybe haven't been in the community for very long and don't know all the things that we're going to talk about. So we're going to get Thom to introduce himself.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Thom DeSimone. I'm from New York, and I'm proof that if you insert yourself into enough situations that that people will just kind of adopt you into the community. Because my wife and I went to JordanCon, the first JordanCon, knowing nobody. And now I have a character in the last book with a point of view. We have
so
our own
good.
show.
Yeah,
I'm
so
getting
cool.
invited to be guests on TV, like on podcasts and stuff. It's just this community is so welcoming and open. It's a great time. But shameless plugs. We have our
Good.
own show.
Which
the
I put
Walking-
the link
Yay!
to in
Links.
the YouTube. So check them out.
So organized. I always forget to do that.
Yeah.
But we have I also have an editor that we lean on. Her name is Kathy. She's my favorite person in the whole planet. And she cleans up all of our mess and makes us look like we know what we're doing. I say us because I have two other co-hosts, Ebony and Kitty, who are fantastic people. I've known them. I've known Kitty for like 12 years, Ebony for like 6, but
Awesome.
they're also a lot of fun. So
And that's on the YouTube show for Dragonmount.
yes, Dragonmount is our sponsor. So is Tour Books. We've had some stuff from Amazon too, giving us like, help and stuff like that. So Wheel of Time community show, check it out on YouTube. I also, like I said, I work at JordanCon. I'm the guest services director. So I help out like the, guests of honor and guest authors and artists and Brandon.
Cool. That's so fancy.
Yeah.
It's
And that's
a
the
lot
one
of
you
fun.
just stuck along at. So they just like eventually had to say, fine, you work here, I guess. I
Yep,
don't know.
That's exactly what happened. And they were like, someone needs to go pick up Brandon from the airport. I was like, I'll do it. How dare you? Me, Pat Rothfuss, I'm picking them up. Let's go.
Yeah.
It's good to know that's how they choose too. If you just volunteer.
If you just show up.
Yeah.
Then you just get to go pick up.
They knew me a little bit at that point.
No, that works. That's good.
Awesome. You know,
I've read the series 100,000 times, so I'm ready to go.
Okay, cool. Just give me 1 second. I forgot my new patrons.
Oh, okay.
Patrons, gotta be fancy with them.
Yeah, so now we can talk about all the spoiler stuff. Not just joking. Yeah, because I know a lot of people are going to be watching and they don't necessarily. So a lot of our viewers are first-time readers, and I know there's a lot of like vets in here too. So you and I are both veterans to the Wheel of Time series. It's kind of funny because we were talking a little bit beforehand, but I've got like huge imposter syndrome because it's like when you start talking live about this stuff, I just like forget everything sometimes. It's like, oh my God, have I even read the Wheel of Time?
I'll ask him a question and I'll be like, well, who's that? And he'll be
like, oh my God,
I don't remember.
I'm not ready for pop quizzes here. So.
Oh, I mean, like we do. I did a couple of the Wheel of Time trivias for the guy that does the Watt trivia on Discord.
DT.
Yeah, DT. Yeah. And man, like I thought I knew a lot, but like some of those questions are like, come on.
Yeah. What's the third inn in the seventh book? And the second time the characters go to, what's the name of that inn?
The one that threw me for the biggest loop was he posted the dark prophecy from the second book that is written on the wall in blood when Patton Fane and it was missing 10 words.
Yeah.
And he was like, fill in the words. I was like, you son of a bitch.
You know, the one that I did was from The Great Hunt too, I think. And we had to fill in the entire thing from some the Aiel prophecy or something like that.
And it's so crazy. Like as soon as you're on the spot, it's like, oh my God, I don't know.
Yeah.
Do they have prophecies in this series? Like the worst brain freeze.
Okay.
All right. I'll stop talking.
So before we get into the episode today, we have a few new patrons to welcome to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. So thank you to Emmanuel Cortez, Telmanis, and Autumn Cooper. So thank you so much. We really appreciate your generosity and we're super excited to have your support.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys.
We also want to recognize and acknowledge our executive producers, Brandy and Aaron Kirkwood and Andre the Man in White.
Woohoo.
There. Okay. Housekeeping taken care of. Yeah. Now we can get into the episode.
You had said that you usually do like little Watt facts?
Yeah, so we'll do the fun fact after we do like the.
Wait, no, fun facts go first.
You want to do that?
No, fun facts go first.
Oh my God! Okay,
you go first.
Well, I have several.
What are we even doing?
I don't even remember how to. Yeah.
What are we? New?
Okay.
We're so new at this.
So I'll do yeah. Okay, and so for today's fun fact, so typically I do a fun fact every episode, but since we've got Thom, who's basically the behind the scenes king, I asked if Thom could come up with a couple of fun facts. So he's gonna take the lead here and share some behind the scenes, like never before heard probably by most people, information. So take it away, Thom.
Okay. So these aren't these mostly like it's not like about nitty gritty stuff about the actual story of the Wheel of Time. Just kind of like you said, fun facts about stuff surrounding the Wheel of Time.
Could be anything.
One of them is for people that don't know, there was a team of folks that worked on the Wheel of Time books. It wasn't just Robert Jordan. Alan Romanchik and Maria Simmons. I mean, obviously Harriet was the editor, his wife.
Yeah.
But Maria and Alan were huge helps to Robert Jordan in the series. They were, research assistants, like he would go to Alan and be like, write me a 2-page summary on everything about the samurai. And, like he would, if he was like using it as part of the culture or something like that. So that's who, and Maria mostly was like the continuity expert. She would read over drafts and be like, oh no, I said I wouldn't wear this dress, or she's from Saldea or something like that.
That's so good. That's the nitty gritty details.
Yeah, that's the good stuff.
Yeah.
So Maria, the fun fact is Maria, prior to working for Robert Jordan, used to edit porn in California.
That's so good. Okay. I have a question about that because you kind of like prefaced that beforehand,
Yeah.
and that's wild.
Yeah.
Now, she was editing the Wheel of Time books. Was she
Yep.
editing porn books or like
Video.
video?
I'll let you ask her that question when you come to JordanCon.
Oh my God. Are you going to leave me hanging on this
Yep,
one?
I'm gonna leave you hanging. Then it'll just be a fun thing that you can ask her when I'll
I have to
introduce you.
say, when I meet her, I'm probably not going to be like, "Hey, tell me about that time you."
She would love
edit
that.
porn.
She would think that's hilarious. She's a fun person. She's a really fun
Okay.
person.
I'm going to get kicked out of JordanCon
Yeah.
the first time I go.
Okay, so this other one is it's a short story. It's a personal one for me.
Awesome. Do it.
Okay, and I didn't tell you this one yet.
No, you didn't. Yeah.
Okay. So when Knife of Dreams first came out, we went to a signing, and it was prior to Robert Jordan, getting sick, and he was at a signing. It was at a small bookstore out east on Long Island, which is New York for people that don't know. It's the little island that looks like a fish.
Yeah.
When we got there, it was a lot of people. We had the books. The first thing that he used to do at his signings was he would walk up to the podium or lectern or whatever and just walk up and go, "It's Avienda. It's Nyanaeve. And then he would just say like 10 words or something like that. That's, how you pronounce them or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, pronunciation's
No, it's
okay.
a whole thing.
We don't hold, like, us in the, like I can tell you right now, like, I don't hold anyone accountable for pronunciations because I still say ale, even though I know it's ale, and like,
Yeah, it's
a
next
lot
to
of people have
impossible
never
to-
heard it out loud.
Yeah.
I don't make fun of people about their pronunciations, but whatever, he did that. So we go through the whole thing. It's me, a couple of good friends of mine, and my cousin. We're online to get our book signed. My cousin is in front of me. He hands the book to Robert Jordan, and he opens the book, and he looks at Robert Jordan, and my cousin says to him, "It's like having Jesus sign a first edition copy of the Bible." So Robert Jordan gets this like disgusted look on his face.
Oh my God.
And he's like, he signs his name, he closes the book, he shoves it across the table, and he goes, "I write a book, son. I write a book." And my cousin walks away. And then I walk up and I'm like, some people are crazy.
Oh, that guy.
I'm definitely not related to her. No,
exactly.
him.
I have completely no idea who this person is. So
Wow.
he took it upon himself. Like, he was signing my book. He closes it and he puts his pen down. He's like, it's not the weirdest thing that someone has ever said to me. Actually, I once had a group of Hell's Angels come in for a signing in California and tell me that if I died before I finished the series and didn't have someone finish it, that they would desecrate my grave.
Wow.
And
Okay.
I believe it.
Yeah.
So
and then he said, and that's not the weirdest one I've ever heard. Another author friend of mine, who shall remain nameless, once received a dead cat in a cooler as a gift at a signing.
No
oh my
thanks.
God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yikes.
So
That's
funny,
so
that's a
funny.
funny story. It gets
Yeah.
better.
Oh my
It gets
God,
better.
it's not done yet.
It's
Okay.
not done yet. So in 2019, we were at JordanCon. We have like a pre-dinner with the chair of the JordanCon for JordanCon, the guests of honor, and if Brandon or Harriet come, they usually go to that dinner too. So I go because that's my time to get to meet the guests of honor, so I can like talk to them about what they're doing, and get to know them so that they know me, and I'm usually their handler through the weekend. So
Sure.
I'm sitting at the table. It's Maria, Harriet, me, my wife, and the con chairs of JordanCon. And we're just talking. They were doing a signing for Warriors of Altai, or Altai, or whatever, however you say it. And she was asking me questions about signings. So we're talking about signings, blah, blah, blah. And then I tell her that story that I just told you guys about my cousin.
Right,
Okay.
Right.
And she goes, oh, that made it to the table. And I'm like, what? She's like, he used to tell people that story, like at the dinner table.
Oh my God.
Of like, this crazy kid that I had at one of my signings.
I mean,
oh my God. And it's your cousin.
Yeah. And that was
Yikes.
8 years later. She
That's so
remembered
funny.
the story.
She's like, oh, I've heard that one.
Yep. So I
Wow.
immediately called my cousin, was like, you made it to the table, and then hung the phone up and didn't tell him what that meant.
It's like not in
until
a
I
good
got
way.
back. Yeah, until
Yeah.
JordanCon was over and I went home
So
on
you-
Tuesday.
So what you're saying is,
Huh.
if you ever want a celebrity or a writer to remember you when you meet them,
Don't be too, no cats.
you just say something so outlandish, so crazy.
That's really good.
Yeah,
They'll talk
Okay.
about you, but you won't get to have dinner with them.
right.
Yeah.
Fair.
So it's like, what are we really going for here? It's tough to say.
That's good. That's awesome. Thank
Okay.
you for that.
That has literally topped every fun fact I've ever done combined.
Yeah.
So that's like 100 and some.
Mhm.
All right.
One of your
okay.
first fun facts was about JordanCon.
Yeah, we did talk about JordanCon and we talked
you
about
like
the charity.
introduced the folks.
Yeah,
to
and I mean
what
that's
JordanCon
also
was.
that's why we donate to the Mayo Clinic too. So
Thank you.
but yeah,
I appreciate
but
that.
yeah. So I mean that's why we're here, right? So
Yeah.
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
So let's dig into the chapters. Are we ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready for it. You know,
Do we want to do a preemptive shot? Because I know we have some people watching us right now.
do they want to do a shot?
I don't know. Can we? What do y'all think? Do we want to do a shot right now, or do we want to save it?
You know, we
I mean,
can do more than
we-
one in the
The cup
evening.
is
Good point.
refillable. It doesn't like.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do
Let's
it.
go. We'll start it off.
Start off the night
Myself.
right, and then we're gonna get this done before the kids are awake.
So, for those of you who are watching, our shelf here contains shot glasses that have been sent in by our lovely fans because we do like to take shots during our episodes, and people like to send us shots from different places.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. So today we have matching Maine shot glasses.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. People got their glasses ready.
excellent.
Tom, you good?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Cheers.
Cilantro.
Thanks for coming on. And spoiler warning, I'm going to try to make a really bad Harry Potter reference a little bit later tonight. So we're going to see how that goes.
I might have to make a
What?
phone call. Make
Well,
a phone
my
call.
Harry Potter references are never that good because I don't know that well. So
No, I like
we're
when
gonna-
you do it though. It's always funny. And it always takes me like 17 minutes to recover from doing
Yeah.
a shot. Okay.
okay, you ready? You good?
Yeah. So good.
You got to train up for JordanCon. Saturday night dance party gets a little wild.
I can't wait. Okay. So we have chapters 27 and 28 of The Shadow Rising.
Yeah, so chapter 27, we've got Within the Ways, and chapter 28 is To the Tower of Genjai.
Cool. That's probably how I would have pronounced that.
Yeah,
You didn't give me a chance.
I
yeah.
always say
Try.
Genji, and I don't know which one's right.
Genjai.
We're just going to go
What
with
do
it.
the audiobooks say?
I'm pretty sure the audiobooks say Genjai.
That's typically what we go
I
by.
have no idea.
Yeah, so
Okay, so last time we had Rand taking us through a super emotional journey through the glass columns in Ruidian, giving us the history of the Aiel. Matt almost died,
yeah.
and then, or maybe he did die, and then he's living again, and then that's like that whole thing.
Yeah, we
perhaps?
talked about that. We don't
I'm
know.
not sure. That part's a little unclear so
Mhm.
far. Anyway, he was an idiot and went into the doorway that he knew nothing about, and some fox people were scary and terrible.
Yeah, okay.
That's yeah. That sounds
Yeah.
pretty good.
That's what happened last time.
Yeah.
It was
Uh,
quite heavy. It was quite a heavy chapter. The episode was the longest we've ever done. It was
Yeah.
almost 2.5 hours for one episode. And so
We're going to have a lot to come back to also.
I want to chime in on the Matt thing real quick. Did you pick
Love
up that when he is Odin? Did you?
Yeah, we haven't talked about, we've talked a little bit about how there's like character interpretations.
Yeah.
I haven't like mentioned the Odin stuff yet,
no.
but that's fun facts to come.
there's like the
Well, I
Thor
mean, like
stuff.
right in
Yeah.
that spot, like specifically, he does one of the things that Odin does in that scene where he's hanging from the tree.
Yes.
Like that, Odin hung from the branches of Yggdrasil to get wisdom, which is exactly what Matt did. He was hung from the
Ah.
branches of the tree of life, which is what
Yeah.
Yggdrasil is, to gain wisdom of his past. So it's
Cool.
And then there's also the
And
connection.
Ron Burgundy says, "Great Odin's ravens," and there was
Yes.
ravens on his little spear. So
Fun fact about Odin's ravens. Odin's ravens are named, I don't know how to say it in like the Old Norse, but
Hugin
it's
and Munyin.
Munin, yeah, and Hunin and Munin or something, but it stands for thought and memory. And if you recall what it says,
we totally just stole a fun
thought
fact
and
from
memory.
you, didn't we?
Oh, I'm gonna come back to it because
Okay.
it's gonna be so good anyways.
Yeah, okay. That's interesting.
But yeah,
That's
so
a good
there's
point.
lots of correlations with the whole Norse gods and everything.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
People have written entire dissertations on the amount of mythology and culture that Jordan pulls from like all over the place.
I believe it.
The whole series.
it's like, yeah, 70% of my fun facts right now are just like, yeah.
Real world inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so before we move into what Perrin and his friends are up to, I have a question from one of our newest producer level patrons.
Okay.
So our producer level patrons get to ask us a question that we answer in a regular episode. And so this one was so good. So this comes from Cody.
Okay.
And he wants to know, what do you think about the Aiel being a tragic people, having lost their original purpose, yet still hanging on to the idea that they have a great obligation? Knowing their origin, who would you say is more lost, the Aiel or the Tinkers?
Oh my God, that's a heavy question. Okay, so Thom, you go first.
Man, who's more? So like the question is, who is more lost?
Because the Tinkers are called the Lost Ones.
Yeah.
Well, that's what the Aiel called them.
Right.
Yeah. So just to recap for just anyone who's like still a little confused about the glass columns
or who maybe hasn't listened to our episode that literally came out today.
Yeah. Also, I have to make a public apology apparently, because last time when we were talking about what the exact description of the glass columns were,
we skipped over it.
I was like, it doesn't really matter what exactly how we described them.
Someone.
Yeah. So like I get it, but we're not going to kill time on like what exactly everything looks like, because we just don't have.
Just read it. Robert Jordan maps it out pretty good.
Yeah. So it's like mental images, but yeah. So we had the DeSimone Aiel, which were like the OG. And then we had the breaking off of the Tinkers in one direction and the breaking off of the Aiel as we know them,
Aiel,
which are the OG basically. So yeah. Okay. So that question.
So the idea that they're still hanging on to like a great obligation that they really don't know what it is, and that they've pretty much, as the
wise ones and the clan chiefs know what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would say the Aiel are probably the more lost.
Okay.
I would say
that they have strayed the most from their originality.
Okay.
Whereas the Tinkers, they're looking for their song.
Sure.
Which we now know actually existed.
Okay.
And was a thing that they would sing with the Ogiers to, it didn't make the days better.
We didn't talk about that. So you think that the song that the Tinkers are searching for was like the songs of
seed songs.
The seed songs.
I thought that was obvious. No,
we didn't talk about that at all. We didn't have enough. We talked for 2.5 hours, but that wasn't one of the things we covered.
Maybe the Tinkers need to go talk to some Ogiers. Ones who can sing.
They deal with the Ogiers.
They do.
Yeah.
They do deal with them. So. But I mean, that was like a three-way.
Yes, singing to make plants grow is important, but I don't think that's going to help, fix the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And when
maybe they're confused.
That's true.
Because it's like second, third, fourth hand stories before they were like, we're going to go find the songs that people used to listen to. Like they have no idea that it really just like made the plants grow.
Also, does the song have to be a song?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of, I think we just open up even more questions.
Yeah.
I personally think that the Aiel have strayed further from their original, like basically all they do is kill.
Okay.
In my, that's as far as I know them.
Yeah,
that's the hard part about it.
Like Avienda was like, oh, if Berline's bothering you, just like kill her with a knife. Like that's like literally her solution. Like that's.
I guess.
So what would you say?
I guess you are far enough they don't really explicitly say a lot of the stuff about their culture. It's kind of, you got to infer from all like everything once you finish it.
Absolutely.
So I don't think it would be a spoiler if I say like their culture is violent, but
Yeah.
killing is actually not like their like
Yeah.
something that they do often.
Fair.
A bigger accolade or something more honorable to do would be to just touch non-violently.
We already
we
did
just got
get
that. So we just got introduced to Jieto and how like the least honorable is killing and the most
Yeah.
honorable is like touching.
because we just got introduced to those guys, the servant people.
Guy Shine.
Yeah.
So that's, I would like personally, I would say they've both strayed just as far from what the original Aiel did, but just differently.
Yeah.
Fair.
Because like the Tinkers are just as far off of their original ideals as the Aiel are, but like the modern day Aiel, but just on a different path. Like they both took different roads, but they're just as far.
Because both of them, Tinkers and Aiel, as we know them, have both quote failed the Aes Sedai.
Well, I mean, and
by
then we can
not protecting their crap.
But we can also get into the whole like, was it a misinterpretation? Because we kind of touched on that, where the Aes Sedai who essentially sent the Aiel off was like, yeah, keep the stuff safe, but the thing I want to protect is literally you. So okay. So were the Terangriel, Angriel, Sa'angriel the actual mission, or was the actual mission protecting people?
Rand's future parents?
Like exactly, right? So I mean, what's the real mission here? So everybody,
the answer to that question is yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I don't know if we answered your question, but it sparked some interesting conversation.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cody.
I mean, who's the most? I think
who's the most? Yeah, my answer to his direct question is they're both equally lost in different ways.
Yeah.
Cool. Love it. Thank you. Okay, so the last time with Perrin and the chick who disrespects Loyal.
Fael.
Yeah, that one. So they're all headed into the ways, and that's where we're going to pick up.
Yeah, let's get back to this.
So chapter 27 is called Within the Ways, and we get the Avendasora Leaves picture. Do you want to show the folks?
Yeah. For anyone who doesn't either have the copies.
Nope.
Oh,
there you go.
I love the chapter icons.
Yeah. I painted it.
Great artwork.
I painted that one specifically on my sign. I like that one the most.
Yeah.
Oh, you painted that? That's fantastic.
Yeah, I did. Thank you. So we are in Perrin's point of view. We get Gull and Perrin heading along through the darker than darkness ways. We get a recap about the ways and the Black Wind and bridges and islands, and this place is falling apart.
Yeah. I would say that it looks noticeably worse than what we've seen before.
Okay.
More deterioration.
Well, we're also going on different like bridges and stuff.
Yeah. We are, yeah. So it's like the bridges that are described are worse off.
Like maybe we are. Actually don't have any idea.
Things are also progressing really fast now. Like there was, I mean, it's not a spoiler to say the story that's happening right now is the story. Like it's
the shadows rising.
Yeah. So like, for thousands of years, the ways just kind of sat there. The Dark One wasn't freed, and Machin, no one really went into the ways. But now the ways are being used more often. So Machin Shin is
convenient way to travel.
Yeah. Machin Shin's flying around. The Dark One's being free, so his corruption is coming up. So like it's not I don't think it would be a bad assumption to say the ways might be even decaying more faster than they were.
I mean, there's a reason why we're getting this story now and not like 100 years ago when nothing happened.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I was wondering like where we're picking up here, because the last we heard, Gull and Perrin were heading in and going off by themselves.
Yeah, they just entered.
And then, but no, here it says it's been like 2 days and Perrin and Gull are traveling a little bit behind the Fael group because they're still both being super immature, childish, and stupid.
Yeah, good way to summarize it. Yeah, we kind of get the fast travel this chapter.
But then we get a flashback to what happened.
Yeah.
And it is not good. It's bad.
Oh, yeah.
What was the flashback?
So, thanks for asking.
She's going to tell you.
Good segue, because I got it.
I was setting you up. I was setting you up.
I love it. Okay, so the flashback is to where Perrin is going into the ways, and him and Gull are taking off to the first guiding without the rest of the group. And this pisses Fael off so much that when they get there, like I think that she's worried, but then she's angry with him for worrying her. So she straight up assaults him.
Yeah, I mean that's what happens.
Yeah, like it's a full armed slap. She's pissed off that he charged in there, and he calmly says, like, don't hit me. And then so she does it again, nearly unhinging his jaw. And
That's a hard slap.
Yeah, and he
especially for a big dude. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to get through the beard too.
There's like cushion there.
Yeah. So he's remaining calm, which is like impressive at this point, and tells her not to do that again. And then she just like hauls off and punches him in the gut, forcing him to double over. She goes to punch him again, but then he grabs her by the scruff of the neck, and then ...
Something happens.
So we are against writing about men hitting women.
Yeah.
But the woman hitting the man a bunch of times.
Well, here's the question too: is
like,
what do you think happened? That's what I want.
Well, okay. So later on, it says that she's refusing to sit gingerly.
Okay.
I noted that in the writing.
He probably slaps her ass.
She got spanked.
Yeah.
Like over the knee.
Oh no, by the scruff of the neck.
And then
he literally grabs her and I don't know.
Like, he's a big, giant, strong dude. He's not going to smack her. He's not going to punch her. He doesn't want to hurt her. But he
wants to stop being assaulted. At this point, it's self-defense, in my opinion.
I think he wants more to just make a point.
Yeah, I told you to not do that. Don't do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, overall, it's really bad what's happening.
None of that is a health. None of that is. It's not healthy, especially in our, standards and the way. Well,
especially like if we're going to talk about how the writing has progressed and like how we're looking at it now, like it was written 30 years ago.
Well, I mean, okay, but here's a valid point. It doesn't matter if it's written nowadays.
Shit.
Yeah. I would argue it doesn't actually matter what we deem as like, healthy or not healthy or acceptable nowadays, because this story isn't taking place nowadays.
Yeah.
This story is taking place when it's taking place. So he's writing a character two characters in a really unhealthy, abusive relationship. So
yeah, that's fair.
Like that shit happens in real life nowadays anyways.
Yeah.
So
you're right. 100% right.
Yeah.
I
don't agree. I don't think it's good.
No.
Very bad.
No. And I would recommend Get Out.
Okay, so you're not endorsing this relationship.
Don't do it.
Okay.
Yeah, except that he tried to get away from her and she just tricked him.
She kept following him. Yeah. She's got a lot of. They both have a lot of issues.
Don't they though?
That is something I think that Jordan does very well though, as opposed to some other writers where he does show trauma and characters like Psyche and their flaws well, and gives them consequences for them, but also in some of the characters they grow out of them or overcome them in some ways. He does that very well.
Yeah, that's a good point, just because I mean, considering we're in Perrin's perspective, it kind of makes sense that in his own memory he would recall what someone does to him, but he might try to block out what he does in response and like retaliation.
Yeah, because at no point in this chapter do we actually get any mention of what he
so maybe like he subconsciously or consciously is like, I don't want to think about that.
He definitely feels guilty. We get that from him. So but then he keeps on saying to himself, well, it was her fault. She shouldn't have hit me.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
so it's all not great.
Yeah.
Okay, so Fail continues to be super pissed off with everyone. Like she might have some temper issues. And she's pissed off at Loyal for trying to intervene, but then she's pissed off at Bane and Chiad for not intervening. Yeah. But then they just tell her that she shouldn't pick fights if she can't take the consequences.
Exactly.
It's kind of fair. Yeah.
And that's the Aiel. That's the Aiel. That's their philosophy.
Like, well, you chose to fight.
Now, if you remember what Gaul said to Perrin before they actually left, he was like, "Don't let Bane and Chiad get you alone because they're going to try and whoop your butt." And he mentions that twice they've tried to like just get him alone separately, not because of the Fael thing, but like it's like the previous thing. So, but he's not falling for it.
Good. Thanks, Gaul. So we get back to Gaul and Perrin following behind. The group has stopped at a guiding, and Fael calls to Perrin to come here.
Yeah.
And then he does, and then she's super annoying and says, "Oh, I just wanted to see if you could be taught to come when I call."
Oh my god, it's so bad.
Gull thinks this is really funny.
Yeah, that I was gonna say that's definitely Bane, and she had pulling some Aiel humor.
Oh, 100%.
Like go do this, go do this. Like they're You got to remember also they're kids. Like they're not
I know.
in their 30s. Like
that's what we keep coming back to, is that they're all just so young and their immaturity is showing. And
like, is it all first relationship stuff right now?
And do I want anything written chronicling me at 18 years old?
It's like, no. I'm glad I existed as an 18-year-old before the internet was really that, you know. Like it was just on the brink.
Yeah, because I mean, there's lots of things we're not proud of. So it's all comes back to it. But Gull thinks it's funny, and he goes, "Women, so complex.
Yeah,
don't even try understanding them." So I think it's more than that. But I think it's just an unhealthy relationship, and not just not understanding women. But
we get a little bit of Bane and Shiad whispering again about something, because they were doing that back in tier 2. So they're like clearly telling.
Yeah, they're pulling some strings.
They're doing something. Yeah.
See, and they're entertaining. I'll jump on the defend Fael wagon for a second, because I actually really like Fael and Perrin. I'm interested to see what you say when you get to book 9, Danny.
Okay.
But like she's super embarrassed, and when you learn about her upbringing and where she comes from, and
we don't know. We know the story sort of, but we don't know.
We know the story that she's told.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say like what it is, but when you learn about it and you get more depth of her character, you understand a little bit more about her. I'm not like none of it is condoning like her possessiveness and her jealousy, but that is the culture of her. People. Yeah. That type of possessiveness of your spouse. It goes both ways, mostly the women, because most of the societies in Randland, or whatever you want to call it, are matriarchal. So
Okay, no, that's good. That's okay. You know, when I first met her, I think I just edited an episode, a bonus episode where I did character predictions before I started this book. I had said that I like Fael for Perrin. And then as I was listening to that, I went, but like,
but we'll see where it goes.
We'll see.
Yeah.
My opinions waver.
Yeah. It's a love-hate relationship. It's like right now she really hates it.
Okay. So Loyal just hates all of this. And I think that's where my dislike for Fael comes from, because she's being like rude to Loyal, and I just love Loyal.
Yeah, she's using him.
Don't use Loyal. He's just the nicest guy.
He really
taking
is.
Advantage of him. I don't.
He is like almost like a child.
He's very innocent. Yeah.
Especially, you know, like by the Ogier standards, like he is like just come of age as an Ogier. Like, yes, he's 90 something years old, but as an Ogier, he's a child.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, poor guy. So turns out though that they have reached the turnoff towards the Manetheren Waygate, but we get that Perrin smells something rank, and that's the first tip off that something is gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, you can't leave the ways without something happening.
Of course not.
Yeah,
can't. It's really convenient how, you know, the Black Wind only attacks right near Waygates.
Okay, so I mean that's a good point.
Super convenient.
There's convenience. However, I have a question, because I thought you might say that, because the whole convenience thing. I mean,
because I've said it before.
No, I mean it's there's a whole deal with the whole ways and everything. I know. But do you think that it's maybe less of a convenience that it's, you know, near a Waygate, or was it that Machin Chin has been attracted to the presence of life within the ways, and clearly there's Trollocs, there's a Fade, there's them traveling, and it's like Machin Chin is coming in on where all the life forms are to just like, a little bit of convenience. Everybody's at the Waygate right now, so that's where Machin Chin comes in. Right? So it's like is an attraction to life.
I actually have a pet theory about that specifically.
Okay, let's hear it.
So Machin Shin is its own thing. Like it's not the dark one, it's not a shadow spawn. It just happened. It rips the soul out of people when it attacks them. So we know that souls and the Wheel of Time are physical things, like they exist.
Yeah.
The souls are the threads in the wheel, and those can be affected in various ways. And if you can affect them, like if something like Machin Shin is able to affect those, it might be able to sense those types of things. Perrin is a Tavarin.
Right.
Tavarin pull on the threads of fate, of the threads
He's
of
a
people.
big, thick, meaty thread.
Yeah, and but he also affects all of the threads around him. So his soul is potent. So he might be attracted to Tavarin. Or him, I say he, but Machin Shin.
Juicy guy.
A juicy soul that Machin
or
Shin
even
is
just
attracted to.
Even just unknowingly attracted, because Machin Shin is somehow tied to the metaphysical plane where the souls exist. So just through that, it is somehow it is pulled to Tavarin in the same way Tavarin pulled the fate around them.
Love it.
Cool.
I like it. Yeah.
All right, fine. I'll take it.
Okay, so not just a plot device.
But also a plot device.
Okay.
Because it is a story.
100%. It's like, let's have a little bit of fun action.
Yeah.
You know, ooh, are we going to escape? And then there's a door right here. Let's escape.
No, they
like
escaped.
that's, you know.
Yeah.
It's to make the parent chapters less boring. That's what it is.
What I have to say to you.
Hey, we warned you ahead of time. Danny is not on the parent bus right now.
I need you to be a parent advocate too.
Oh, I am.
Okay.
100% a parent advocate. I've cosplayed as Perrin twice.
Hence the beard.
Yes.
Our other friend Tyler, who guests with us sometimes, also has a big beard, and he's also a parent fan.
Parent, yeah.
Okay. I have Perrin's hammer.
Awesome.
Yes. You don't know what that is. He knows what that is.
I know what the hammer is.
Yeah, we got a hammer. We've been introduced to a hammer.
Yes. I have a different hammer.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So anyways, something's going to happen. Parents smell something. It's Trollocs. So there's a big fight.
Yeah.
Smash, smash. They kill the Trollocs.
That's actually pretty much the summary too. Like nothing that.
Yeah, it's like they get cut up a little bit. It's like it's bad and scary. And
yeah. No one's like deathly injured. No one's like that severely hurt.
Yeah.
Perrin's got some cuts and scrapes.
Yeah, we do get an important note that Perrin is using a hammer.
Not the axe.
Not the axe. So that's just like the only really important thing that I noted. Perrin is hurt and bleeding, and so is Loyal. Once the Trollocs are down, they're ambushed by a Murdral, and it takes a lot to kill this guy.
Yes, it does.
So there's like arrows, you know, in him, and Fael throws a knife at his face, and then Perrin just like smashes his head in with a hammer, which sounds super graphic. It sounds so gross.
I will note that Perrin does definitely pull out some of the wolfness in this scene.
I was gonna say, young Bull makes an appearance here. That's what I have in my note.
Yeah, I mean, even him like referencing the Fate as a Neverborn, that's like the wolf name for it. So
that's what
and then like I want to put my teeth in its throat.
Gross.
Like there's that too. That's not like a Perrin necessarily. That's like the wolf.
That's young Bull for sure.
That's him struggling with the beast nature, you know.
Yeah, the inner struggle he has always.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he smashes in the head of the Murdral, which like flails around still, but we get that they do that. And we get that there are more Trollocs coming. And it's interesting because these Trollocs didn't go down when the Murdral died.
Yeah, so they're not all linked together.
They're not all linked together, these ones. And they're like, we gotta get out of here. Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta go. Yeah.
We gotta
go. Good
go.
idea.
Yeah. Oh, you're not gonna argue with me this time?
Yeah. God. Okay, so as they get to the way gate, they start hearing the sound of, now I always say Black Wind because I can't say, what is it?
Machin Shin.
Machin Shin.
Yep. You
got
it.
Okay. Machin Shin. Okay.
Black Wind works too. That's what it is in English.
Yeah. Okay. So they hear it and they're like, oh no, we got to get out of here. So Loyal gets the door open and Fael's like, hurry, and like charges through the doorway, which we know that's not a good thing to do.
Yep.
She's gonna like break her neck or something.
Yep.
Can you elaborate?
Time
on that?
dilation. We know that things are like kind of slower in the ways. So if you move from like a slow speed area to a
Faster?
high speed.
Aren't things faster in the ways?
Well, yeah, but it's like, or it depends how you define it, right? Is it like
Time
slowing
moves
down?
differently.
Time moves differently. So it's like when you change the speed of relativity. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but bad things happen. It's like when you jump out of a moving car, you got to roll with it. Otherwise, bad things are going to happen.
Sure. I don't think it's like that.
Same thing.
That's a pretty terrible analogy.
I'm doing my best here. I don't know.
It's like when you jump through a black hole. No, just
yeah.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah, speed differential.
Sure. So Perrin tells the Aiel that they can't fight this and they need to get out, and they listen to him. And then Perrin asks Loyal if there's a way to block the doorway somehow. And then he howls like he wants to challenge, but then he thinks of himself as foolish and backs out of the doorway. So that's just more of that
wolfiness.
The inner turmoil.
Yep.
So they come out on the side of the mountain in the Mountains of Mist, and Loyal comes out and he shuts the waygate using the inside leaf.
So he puts both on the outside.
Yeah. So he seals it shut, like basically meaning that the door can't be opened from the inside.
Because there's no key.
Yep.
So before the doors shut all the way, the Black Wind is there, like saying all those terrible things.
Yep.
But my important note here is that it doesn't seem like it's trying to get out.
Yeah, it doesn't seem.
The last time we saw waygates, both times Rand was there, and the Black Wind was like leaving the ways, trying to get at Rand.
Yes, there was definitely some Rand fondness going on.
Yeah, well, he's back to the Tavarin thing.
That's what I wanted you to talk about.
Yeah. He's the juiciest of the threats.
But also, Machin Shin has interacted with Padden Fane.
Yes, we have discussed that. Yeah.
So Machin Shin is stained. He's stained by Machin Shin is stained by Padden Fane. Yeah,
because Machin Shin didn't even want. Like he rejected Fane. He like spit him out. Like, I don't want you.
He didn't reject Fane.
Yeah,
I keep saying he. It's stupid. The Black Wind didn't reject Fane. It ran away screaming.
Yeah, fair. Okay.
Yeah.
It ran away screaming.
Like, I don't want your gross Padden Fane soul.
Yeah.
Gross.
But obviously, so Padden Fane has got Dark One in him. It's got more death in him, and sociopathic Padden Fane. So it affected Machin Shin to the point of the only thing left over from the Dark Ones messing around with Padden Fane is I want to kill Rand. So
yeah.
So that's been my theory.
Yeah, that was the working theory for quite a while, and we're kind of like pretty settled on it because we always get weird.
But then
stuff.
we were wondering why. Well, we weren't actually, but we mused about why Machin Shin wasn't at the Waygate at Tyr, because that's where Rand is residing.
Yeah, but we also talked about it. It's like he's not just waiting at the nearest, hoping Rand comes. He's probably wandering around. Whatever. So
and not he. Yeah, good point. But
Machin Shin.
Yeah, probably
she. Machin Shin is a.
I was gonna say genderless, but yeah.
Yeah.
Gender
whatever
fluid.
they want to be.
Gender fluid.
Yeah.
The Matt from the Dusty Wheels in the chat, giving.
Hey Matt.
Shit,
hey Matt.
Usually does.
Yeah, Thom, no spoilers. That's okay. I like
Matt
it.
has to get ready for the no spoilers for when we guest in like 2 weeks.
No,
2 weekends.
Next week.
Yeah, it's like next, not
Don't
this
spoil
Sunday,
anything
next
for
Sunday.
Danny,
Yeah.
Matt.
Matt's got to get ready for it. So
That's funny. Okay.
now we've completely lost our place.
No, I got it. So,
Okay.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Oh, this is actually in my notes where I say it's very convenient that Trollocs and the Black Wind only attack right next to a Waygate every time. But,
We've covered it.
So Loyal says that he's not going to ruin a Waygate. And that's back to the whole putting the key on the outside
Yes.
type thing, which is an interesting, like, I didn't know you could just do that. But he says that there's a chance that one day they will be cleansed and like restored, and he just like can't.
He can't destroy it. Can't
be
do it.
like, I can't just throw this key away, or I can't just like seal this.
So I mean, this is
way
big.
gate up altogether.
We need a prediction from you now, officially on the books, because this is kind of the first time. Like, we've only got a limited handful of experiences with the ways and the way gates and the stories, but now we've got an Ogier. He's pretty smart for an Ogier too. Like, from what we've seen, Loyal's not, no schlub here.
Yeah.
He's saying that he doesn't want to destroy the Waygate because there's a chance that they can be cleansed someday.
Yeah.
On record, do you think that the cleansing of the ways will be a thing at some point in the series?
Let me tell you something that I have learned.
Sure.
Robert Jordan.
Yeah.
Puts everything on the page for a reason. Yes, they will be cleansed one day.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They're like, it's one of those things that it's like, he's not going to write that in there in book 4. You know what I mean?
If it's
not going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's my theory.
Okay. I like it. It's on the record, and we will come back to it in 6.5 years.
Yeah.
You heard it here?
Like 4 years.
4
probably.
years, yeah.
Okay. At the rate we're going.
Okay.
All right. So now they're in Manetheren, and we get the whole entire history recap, which I actually, while I was reading, found helpful here. Like, I know sometimes there's a recap of stuff in books, and it's just like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Move on. We know. But the recap about the Manetheren history actually helped me.
Really? Okay.
Because I hadn't heard it since, I think,
Book 1.
Like Moiraine's story?
Like
Yeah.
maybe one other time since then.
Chapter 3 of Book 1 or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And that was when I had no idea what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
So
And me trying to like ramble on about the royalty names
Yeah.
and the lineage of last names.
yeah.
And this was before we knew that the L was like a
A thing.
prefix in the
Yeah.
in the
So
Borderlands.
anyway, so I liked it here.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to cover it at all.
I wasn't gonna. Is there anything you have? Well, we know that Aemon Alcar Althorin was like the king, and
Yeah.
then he died,
Yep.
and then his wife blew up everything,
It was an
Because
all
of the
star.
power.
more or less. Yeah, she did the whole like
Powered up too much.
pulls the LTT and turn yourself.
Yeah, I was
into
about
a
to
man.
say. Yeah, she pulled the Luceren.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then now Aemon's field is Emond's field, so that's why they're the blood of Manetheren.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Manetheren was really important.
Yes.
Turns out.
Yeah,
It was
Thorin.
a very like diverse country. They were a country. Manetheren is kind of like the ideal of the United States. They're a country of refugees and of what's the word I'm looking for? People that come to the country that aren't from the country.
Immigrants.
Immigrants, that's the word.
There you go.
That's
I guess
the
that
one.
shot affected me more so than I thought.
Well, just get ready because I got
But they
a bad
were-
Harry Potter reference.
They were a country of like, made up of people from almost everywhere. And they were very, forward thinking, technologically advanced. They were like a pinnacle of good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the big things we know about them, they were like the thorn in the Dark One's foot or something like that.
Yeah.
Side.
Like, in the side.
They,
Yeah,
they
it
were
was
kind of like the
something-
Spartans and
Yeah,
how
they're
good
like
of fighters
super
they
good.
were. Yeah.
Yeah. And they got like betrayed and then like
Yeah. And I do have to say, so we got a lot of talk about the Ogier Grove in Manetheren, about it being like one of the best or something like that.
Loyal had gone on a rant a couple books ago about how Manetheren had like one of the best, maybe second only to Tarvalin's, something like that.
Anyway, so we got no real mention of it, and I was secretly hoping that this one would still be intact for Loyal.
Ooh, okay.
It's not.
No.
And when he was like walking
I feel so bad for
when he
him.
was walking through Tyr, and it was like terrible, and he's like getting angry. This used to be such a good grove, And
It's
I
kind of sad because he has to do that like everywhere
I
too.
know,
Yeah.
and I was really hoping that this one would be still there, sort of, for him.
Nope.
It's not. It's not.
Nope, it's not.
It's not. So what used to be the Ogier Grove here is now like scatterings of trees.
It's not good.
It's
Not,
terrible.
yeah.
Gull at one point, we'll get to it equates it to the waist,
Yeah.
which is like he doesn't even say that it's a forest.
Hey,
Like,
that's next chapter.
I
You're
know.
stealing all the good stuff from
I know,
next chapter.
but I was just like, man, poor Loyal, like can't catch a break at this point.
I feel so bad for him. He's like a fanboy who's been reading like, you know, about the history of all these areas, and he comes out and realizes that he's like 1,000 years too late. And
That's so sad.
It is
sad.
sad.
It's so bad.
It's like that time he got to the inn where they had Ogier-sized furniture and beds, and then they had to leave.
He went like half a book.
He got
where
to
it's like,
go to sleep.
Yeah. It was like literally a half a book of him just like getting to a place where he's got a decent sized bed, and then we got to pick up and go.
Yeah.
So sad. It happened like 2 or 3 times in a row.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh well, he got lots of Ogier furniture.
He's such a pure heart. Like he's
I know. But I also, if you remember correctly, predicted that Loyal would one day go to the Two Rivers.
Yay!
Except he's not going with Rand.
Yeah, it was Rand who was like, "Oh, I'll show you my home, and then you can show me your your home."
And I said, "Yeah, totally. Loyal's going to get to the Two Rivers," but I didn't expect it like this.
On this whole death mission trip with Perrin.
Right. Except no one knows it's a death mission except for Perrin.
Yeah. Well,
he told Gaul. Didn't he tell Gaul?
No, he did not tell Gaul.
Okay.
Nope, not yet.
See, this is what I get for not rereading the entire book.
That's okay.
That's what you get.
You should have done the entire book.
It's been a week. How dare you not read?
I listened to it while I was doing other stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so then something happens here because Perrin notices 2 hawks circling in the sky, like a ways off, and then an arrow flies up and gets one of the hawks, which is weird and doesn't make sense because, like, who would be out here hunting hawks?
They're like really far away from everything. Just keep in mind, like they're
and
decent.
Only like Perrin's eyes can see it, sort of.
Yeah, it's like way off in the distance.
Yeah. And then a big cloud of black ravens flies up out of the trees and gets the other hawk. And then this like freaks Perrin out, which is understandable.
Yeah.
Especially considering the whole Ravens chapter where him and Egwene and Elias like escape, like just run and run and run for miles and miles and miles.
And they like eat that fox.
Yeah, he has a little PTSD about those ravens at this point.
Absolutely. And like,
so it's
understandable.
It's kind of funny because obviously like
he was sacrificing it. He was like ready to kill Egwene so that she wouldn't like go to the ravens.
Oh yeah, he was ready for it. Like he'd made peace with that.
That was a hard time.
It was emotionally difficult, and they'd like just left the Two Rivers more or less, and it's like, am I gonna kill my best friend here?
Yep.
Yeah.
So obviously we've got no clue who this is, so I'm not going to ask you, oh, who do you think it is? But I do want to ask you, is this a good guy or a bad guy?
It's a bad guy. I got a feeling it's a bad guy.
Who's just shooting hawks?
Yeah.
And has like this gang of ravens.
It's like he's shooting the hawks for like the ravens to feed on or something. Like it's so
It seems like the ravens are like connected with wherever these
and we know that
ravens
aren't good.
Yeah.
At this point anyway, like
it's not that ravens aren't good, it's that they can be corrupted by the dark one.
And they can be spies for
shadow eyes.
Yeah.
That's what Go calls them.
Yeah.
They're shadow spawn. They can be turned into shadow spawn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I wrote in my notes, I have no idea what's going on here. So I'm glad you didn't ask me to tell you what's going on here.
I'm going to put a pin in that for later.
Good. Okay. So Fael takes it upon herself to start tending to Perrin's wounds, and he lets her.
Okay.
Which is nice. It's like halfway civil, except that she's like grunting about like having to fix him up the whole time she's doing it.
And you know what she's not going to fucking do?
Sew up his jacket.
Yeah. So, the country she comes from, their mentality is kind of framed off of Italians. And being Italian, I can tell you that we will help you take the shirt off our back and give it to you, but the entire time we'll do it, we will complain and yell at you.
Fair. But a huge part of what we do here is just take a look at everything only I know. And so these are like, as a first-time reader, my perspective of this bitch is that she's a bitch.
She is. She's got
straight up.
Well, and what Tom's saying here is she's just Italian.
She is.
I don't want to put words in your mouth here.
We as a people are loud and we curse a lot. What do you do?
Fair.
You know, beautiful country. I'll let it pass.
It is a beautiful country. We did love it a lot. Okay. Anyway, she's still awful. Perrin thinks again about the like wolfy thoughts.
Wolfy thoughts. That's what it's going to be called from for now on. By the way.
Yeah, they're wolfy thoughts. And he's like having. No, I'm going to try and say that again. Because I read my sentence wrong. Okay, so Perrin thinks again about the wolfy thoughts that he was having, and he's reminded of the guy who went full wolf.
Yes.
And thinks like it's best for him to just go find the white cloaks and die.
Yeah.
Essentially.
I mean, we've kind of talked about this whole Perrin things a few times, but like he's got 2 experiences right now with wolf people. One being Elias, which is like the crazy forest man who like lives with the wolves, but not completely insane.
Not completely wolf, but not completely man.
Just like 6 out of 10 crazy.
Doesn't live with people ever.
Yeah.
And then we've got like
he's been able to balance it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, balance it to what Elias clearly is cool
happy with.
Yeah.
Perrin doesn't think that's a good system, but then the other spectrum side of that is Noam, who is like full wolf.
Full wolf.
Yeah.
And that's Perrin's experience. So he kind of at this point thinks like, those are my options.
Yeah.
If he can help it. Like he really thinks he's trying to avoid the wolf so much because he doesn't want to go full wolf.
Yeah.
So
he doesn't understand very much, which is fair because we don't understand very much.
And he reluctantly at this point sets his mind to reaching out to the wolves because he needs to like find some stuff out here. But he finds nothing, which is super weird and concerning.
Is it weird, or do you just have bad cell reception in the mountains? Because I can tell you, living in Alberta,
bad wolf reception.
Yeah.
Bad reception in the mountains.
Yeah. No, it's bad. He finds nothing.
So not.
If anything, he should find lots of wolves.
Yeah, they're so far from cities.
Yeah. Wolf reception should be good in the mountains.
But like the signals in the mountains and the rocks.
No, it's good. We got your joke and we're ignoring it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I'm with her on this.
Fine.
One.
Yeah. So that's the end of this chapter.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is good. Well, it's not good. It's not good that the wolves like aren't around.
Yeah.
That's bad. That's bad news bears.
Okay.
Bad news wolves? No bears.
No theories yet about that? I mean, is it connected with the weird hawk and raven?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Okay. I don't know. They don't have to be connected.
Oh, it is though.
Okay.
And I mean, also
it goes into that in the next chapter a little bit.
Yeah, we do get into it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do that.
Okay, I'm gonna take a break because I need a new drink.
All right.
New drink.
2-minute breather.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go right here though. I'm not going far.
Oh, I need a new drink too, but I can summon a new drink.
Oh my god.
See if it works. Summoning a drink.
My knees hurt.
Oh, is that Jesse that's in chat? Jess? Nerd Grits? Or is that no? It's
Hello,
Jen.
everybody.
Oh, is Jess there? Jess?
She'll it'll catch up to us when she hears us. It'll take like 30 seconds.
Oh.
There it is. Ha-ha! Can you? My wife, she's listening to us, and she heard my summons.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. Thank you.
I can't do that because she's right here.
Yeah.
Go get me.
I can get you.
No, I'll go.
Well, I'm already standing.
No, but I'm gonna make a Harry Potter reference soon. So like everybody in the chat, if you want to take a shot with us, get ready.
You gotta get ready.
It's gonna be bad. You're gonna hate it.
I'm so excited
It's
to
so
hate
bad.
your Harry Potter
It's like
reference.
worse than the previous one that you hated so much.
Really? Which one did I hate?
It was. I don't know. Remember?
I'll make a quick Harry Potter reference for you. So one of the panels we did at JordanCon a few years ago was.
If you say Harry Potter, you have to take a shot.
Oh,
Even that's the
friend me, what a good time.
It's the rules. Okay, but I want to know because one of Brett's fun facts was that you guys do like sorting.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah, and we did a bonus episode where I sorted all the characters into.
I was gonna say Perrin. I sorted Perrin into Slytherin.
Interesting. I have Nynaeve and Moraine in Slytherin.
Oh, 100% with that, yeah. But I would
so
also
ambitious.
I would argue Moraine for Gryffindor also.
See, I got the the like cunning and ambitious Slytherin.
She's
Performing?
cunning. I wouldn't say she's ambitious though.
Ooh, interesting. See, that's
she
just
does it. I think she does it more for the good. Like she doesn't care about herself.
Hmm.
You know, like she doesn't care if she is part of what's happening, or if she like, or if
so
she
like this selfless Gryffindor.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah. Perrin, on the other hand, is he's manipulative. Like he sets people up.
Interesting.
He's very quiet, but he is probably the smartest out of the three boys.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. He's very good at setting people up to notice that they're wrong without him having to tell them they're wrong, and then have them come to the conclusion themselves and do what he wanted them to do the entire time.
Interesting.
He does that a lot.
Yeah.
He's
No,
the
that's
quiet
cool.
thinking planner schemer.
I know, and I think that's why I don't like him, because when I read books, like my favorite character, I have like Matt, Moraine, Lanfear, like those are my favorite because they're so interesting to read about. Like they're so exciting, like they're unpredictable page turners. Like that's what I like to read. And the whole Perrin sitting around and spending 5 minutes to decide if he should ride his horse faster or slower. Like I just can't.
So let's dig into
he's talking about the sorting at JordanCon, the Harry Potter houses.
Hey,
he put Perrin in Slytherin.
That was one of our first bonus.
I told him that.
Oh my god, you told him everything. Okay.
Yeah,
I was so excited about that because you guys did it at JordanCon.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We also did another convention that's in Atlanta that's like I don't want to say it's our sister convention, but it's another convention that a lot of us from JordanCon also go to, and a bunch of like staff from JordanCon go to. It's called Conjuration.
Matt is a Hufflepuff.
Yeah, I can see Matt being a Hufflepuff. Oh, SAK 59 said that, yeah.
What's the sister convention?
It's called Conjuration.
Oh, okay.
It's a lot like JordanCon in the feel of it and the way they have it set up, except where we have like a Wheel of Time skin over the convention, they have a Harry Potter skin over their convention. So at their convention, we did a Aja sorting of Harry Potter characters.
Nice. Cool.
I still don't know some of the Ajas.
We haven't actually learned even in book 4
what
all the Ajas are.
I have no idea what a gray Aja is.
Yeah. You can't tell her because she does. We haven't read it yet.
I don't know.
It's good. Now, I was going to say,
Jason said that now that I know more, we have to review the sort, and we did. So
yeah, we've done that twice.
Yeah, we did it. So
yeah, we did too.
We thought it was interesting to do the sorting of the characters when I was like not even 10 chapters into the first book, because in Harry Potter, you're sorted when you first get there.
Yeah, before you know anything about these people.
Whatever you are at 11 years old is what you're going to be for the rest of your life.
So forever. And so we did that when I was like only 10 chapters in, and then I think we were somewhere in the Great Hunt or maybe in the Dragon Reborn, and we revisited. We have another bonus episode revisiting my Harry Potter.
I was going to give you some insight into who Dani is as a person. The reason why she doesn't like Perrin is because she's super impulsive and doesn't think before she does stuff.
So you're a Gryffindor.
And I'm the one who's like Perrin, who like has to think, and
that's me too. I identify the reason why. I mean, I guess a large reason why I like Perrin a lot is because I identified with him a lot. I was always bigger than everybody else, so I understood the whole. I got to be careful around everybody and stuff like that, but also being quiet and thinking things through, because I was always very. I mean, I'm not now, but the alcohol is helping. But I was always very shy in talking to people, so I always thought about what I was going to say before I spoke.
I related to Perrin too, like almost reluctantly, not on the physicality side. Like I wasn't the biggest kid ever.
No, but you're the quiet like thinker before you do things.
Yeah. So like in that side, and I always want to be like the Matt kind of guy,
which
but
is
it's
like, but it's like interesting because I strongly personally identify as like naive, and I don't like naive at all.
And I agree with her that she
everything that
I like it though. I'm cool. I love naive.
Things that I'm like medium about myself, like like uptight, control freak. Like but I'm like super loyal and I'm gonna fight for you and whatever. Like those things are good, but the really annoying traits that she has, the like grudges that she holds, like it's just all me and I hate it.
All right, I'll make sure not to get on your bad side.
Yeah, no.
Also, another fun
like
fact.
competitive and I just
another fun fact: Robert Jordan most identified with Perrin. Also,
Yeah. There you go.
He said all three boys are a little bit him, but Perrin is the most like him.
That makes sense.
I think that makes sense. I think Perrin is the only one who'd be able to like sit down and actually write.
Well, I don't know. We've talked about it too. Is like Matt. If you had Matt as an actual friend,
I'd hate him.
It'd be like, what the hell, man?
Oh yeah,
quit. Like I can't deal with you.
As an actual human in my life, I wouldn't be able to stand him. But in these books, like
he's fun to read.
He's so entertaining. I love it so much.
He's like the buddy that you can get together with once every month or two. It's like, but we're topping off there. So
yeah,
Egwene's awesome too. Yeah.
Yeah. I think at first, before I really got to recognize that I'm Nynaeve and that's why I don't like her, I thought I was Egwene.
Yeah. Okay.
Because of the whole like ambitious and go for it kind of attitude.
No, I get that too. Yeah.
That's like Egwene is how I ideally see myself.
So Gryffindor.
And Nynaeve is how I actually
I'm just gonna mess with you with that all night.
Yeah, no, it works. It's good. All right, are we ready?
I think so.
I was born ready.
What are you looking for?
I was just gonna I can do
Follow
the Harry
along.
Potter. It's kind of like an in-between.
Okay, go. And we just talked about Harry Potter a whole bunch.
Fair. And if you really don't like it, we can cut this whole deal out and it's only for the YouTube people. So okay, so this is like a true story and it's real facts about Harry Potter.
I hate when you do things like this.
Are we setting it up like a ghost story? This is a true
We're setting it up. So if you recall, and I only know this from the movies, but
which is probably the worst because you thought that Dumbledore drowns Harry in a pensive.
Like water, he like holds his by the scruff of the neck.
Because last chapter I equated the going through the columns of Ruidian to going into a pensive, and I made a connection. And he was like, "What's that? That's the thing of water where he like drowns him in." What? No.
Okay. Anyways, back to my thing. Hello. Okay. So I'm only saying this, and this is the only reason I have this Harry Potter reference is because while you were reading, I heard you exclaim, "Oh my God, this forest scene is so boring," because they spend a bunch of time in the forest. So it turns out that the reason why
I said that out loud.
Movie 7, the first half, they spend the first 7 hours of that movie in a forest, and it's really fucking boring, was actually pulled directly from these chapters because it's a bunch of boring forest sequences. There you go. Fun fact about Harry Potter. I don't think I actually
said that. I think you made that up.
No, I did not.
Okay.
Okay, we talked enough about Harry Potter.
You know what? I can equate I'd say the first book of like the Eye of the World.
Sure.
There's more like camping in forest sequences.
Yeah. Well that was a hard.
He also wrote that like he wrote that book with no contract, no idea he was going to be able to write more books. And when he wrote that book, he thought that he was only going to write 3 books.
Yeah.
I feel like that's an internal lie that he told him. Like I feel like he didn't write them like it was supposed to be a 3-book series or like a 6-book series. Like I feel like that's just like an internal lie you tell yourself. Oh yeah, Brad, this is gonna be 3 books.
He also didn't know if it was gonna get picked up, so he did often say that he wrote the first book in a way that it could be just one arc by itself, which doesn't really explain all that.
We've talked about that too, where it's like you can read the first book as a standalone. You can read the first 3 as a trilogy, as a standalone trilogy.
Yeah,
like it gets a nice like little tie-in. With everything. Like you could stop at book 3, you'd be insane to do so, but you could stop at book 3 and be like, it's a moderately complete story. Okay, Rand's the dude, he goes off and does his thing.
And he gets Excalibur and
bonus episode.
Yeah,
this is gonna be a bonus episode of all the stuff we talk about that's not to do with this episode.
Right. Okay. Okay, anyways, hey, cheers.
I love it. It's so good.
Yeah.
We're clearly deprived of like social interaction.
We're also like on a clock before the kids wake up.
No, we're doing so good still. Don't even worry about it.
Cheers to the Great Harry Potter reference.
Well, and to
pour
the
myself
sorting
another
of Harry
shot.
Potter at JordanCon.
Oh, he's as imported.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
oh my God, you're prematurely clinking.
All right,
That's
I
a
got you.
premature clink right there.
Story of my life. Cheers.
Cheers.
Is that just vodka?
Sriracha.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh. I think we talked about it before. What are you drinking tonight? Just so everybody else can see.
Tito's vodka. Which I
Tito's
dropped the bottle
vodka.
on the floor. At least the top is on.
Nice. And we got
Peach
And
whiskey.
And then I have
Peach flavored
so
whiskey.
that's the shots, but in my handy dandy, this is, by the way, when you go to cons, invest in one of these.
It's like going to an all-inclusive in Mexico.
Yes.
Can I bring one of those like really big Eiffel Tower ones
Yep.
with the long straw?
Oh, dude, there people walk around with the gigantic cooler ones.
Well,
Just-
it's also the States and liquor is so cheap.
Oh my God. The first time, I shouldn't tell this story.
No, it's okay. Let's get
I
back
filled up her Yaris with alcohol and it cost less than
Yeah, you did fill up the backseat of my Yaris with liquor when we went to Red Lake Falls.
Yeah.
But
It's so cheap there.
mhm,
there's a book that we're talking about apparently.
Yeah, we got to do the second chapter here.
mhm.
All right. There's a really fun thing I want to talk about in that one. So
Okay. Do you want to do the whole everything to get us going on this
Mhm.
chapter?
I will do the things to get us going on this chapter.
do the things.
Okay. So chapter 28 is I'm gonna do that again. I'm like still choking on the shot. Okay. Okay, so chapter 28 is called To the Tower of Genjai.
Yeah, and we got a wolf chapter symbol.
Oh, it's like pure Perrin. That's all I get from that guy.
It's Hopper.
So we're sticking with Perrin and we're in like the same scene,
Yes.
essentially. So they have decided to camp here for the night in the Mountains of Mist, and Fail has insisted on having separate camps because she is still a petty and annoying bitch.
Yeah, she'd be in a butt.
And
Accurate.
Loyal is sick of this. He's as sick of this as I am, but this continues. And then Perrin makes Loyal go sleep in the girls' camp to protect them.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's seen some spooky stuff in the distance.
I know protection, but like,
It's
I
not
mean,
just
I
to
kinda-
protect. It's because Bane and Shiat are more than capable of protecting.
yeah, like why
But
does he
it's-
actually make Loyal do this?
Because Loyal can see in the dark.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There you
That's
got it,
that's
man.
I'm 90% sure that's why he did it.
That's good
Yeah,
rationale. That's good
It's
rationale.
excellent. Yep, that's it.
I
I
mean-
still feel bad.
Also, like just a smidgen of like just sticking it to Fael a little bit. Like we get it again, but even his joke telling in his own camp with Gaul,
Oh, it's so stupid.
it's
Okay,
just
we'll
like
get
so
there.
petty and just like
Okay. Okay, let me talk about it though, because the girls are laughing and laughing like BFFs,
yeah.
best fucking
Yeah.
friends forever. So over like at the other camp, and that really annoys Perrin, like it's getting under his skin.
Well, it's like
almost.
you know that Fael and Ben and Chiad are talking about Perrin
And laughing and laughing.
and laughing. Yeah.
And
And
you
so-
know they're just doing that thing that kids do where it's like just laugh like we're like something was really funny.
Oh yeah.
Well, and that's exactly what Perrin does.
And he does it very terribly.
Yeah, he asked Gull for a funny story, and Gull's like,
No.
I don't have funny stories. I'm Aiel. Like,
Yeah.
Another comedian.
They could tell the story that made all the wise ones laugh so hard about
Oh yeah.
about the like servants falling in love with the
Yeah.
roof
There was like a
mistress's
long
daughter,
story we didn't have time to get into,
Yeah.
but it's like, oh, and
they
then she
fall
made
over
herself.
laughing.
Yeah.
I know
I-
humor is funny.
It's good.
Okay, anyway, so Gull's like no, and then like looks over at the girls' camp, and then Perrin's like, yeah, women, and then Gull's like, women are so hard to understand, and then Perrin just laughs so loudly and so obnoxiously, like on purpose. Yeah.
Women, right?
He does a stupid loud fake laugh, and
Yeah.
it like doesn't work.
Of course not.
I don't know. I think it worked. He
No,
he
it makes
thinks
the
that
girls-
showed him.
It makes the girls look over quietly and then start laughing again.
Oh yeah, it worked. It worked totally.
No, it did not. Okay, apart from this though, because Gull notes that this place looks more like the waste than other places he's seen, and that's really sad because there's less trees here, and forests really confuse him.
Yeah. So I just want to kind of bring this up because we got the whole Ruidian chapter last time about where the Aiel people come from and like their lineage and all that good stuff. And Gaul talks about how this place is looking like the Threefold Land and the fact that hold on. What was the point I was going to make? I had a point to this. I just don't remember it.
It's the liquor.
It is the liquor. I don't know if I was going to make a point here.
Okay.
Can we just not talk about this?
Yeah, easily.
You'll find it.
I feel like I had a point. That happens.
So he's talking about how this place is like the Threefold Land.
And something about Ruidian. I don't know.
Something about how he read books.
Oh, I do remember. Okay, thank you. Okay,
You're
so
welcome.
we know that it's called the Threefold Land because there's three purposes for the Threefold Land.
Correct.
So it's a shaping stone to make us, a testing ground to prove our worth, and a punishment for the sin. So when we think about the Aiel, do you think that those threefold like reasons for being sent to the waste still hold up?
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty in detail question, obviously, for what we're talking about right here. But I mean,
yeah.
I guess.
We kind of saw that they weren't actually necessarily sent to the waste.
No, they went there of their own accord because it was like the only place they could go.
Yeah.
Sort of.
The Aes Sedai that were with them when they were traveling probably were like, keep going that way. Oh, yeah, there's the mountains. Just keep going.
Yeah. Well, their whole thing was like, go somewhere.
They were like, go build a city over there.
Yeah. And they were talking about like, go somewhere safe. Like, we want to protect you as a people. But it wasn't like, go to the Aiel, like to the waste, like send them there because you need to be punished for your sins of failing us. Like that never really came up specifically.
I think it was like the Aes Sedai specifically brought them there to protect them because like we said before, Rand's parents, they need to not die. But also to essentially turn them into the world's greatest warriors because Rand needs an army or the dragon needs an army when he comes around.
Right.
Yeah.
You keep saying Rand, but they didn't know his name would be Rand.
Yeah.
But they knew the dragon was going to be born of the Aiel. So
So it's just like an interesting concept now knowing why, like where the Aiel come from. So it's like, does all that still kind of hold true considering like only the wise ones and the clan chiefs get to go and see that stuff? So and it's like super secret. Anyways, we can talk about that later too.
Okay. Now, where were we? Camping.
Perrin laughed, and it was bad.
So Perrin is for sure still on this like I'm gonna die when I give myself to the White Cloaks thought train, and because when Gull suggests that he should come see the waste, Perrin's like, yeah, maybe
one day,
but he like thinks never.
Yeah, so he definitely hasn't told Gull about his whole plan yet.
Yeah.
His terrible plan.
Which I actually find it interesting that Gull invites him to see the waste when I thought that only like tinkers and peddlers are allowed in the waste.
I mean, but if you go with an Aiel, like you probably get like a visitor pass.
I guess the Aiel have never really come out into the world and brought people back with them before.
Rules can change.
It's more like it's not that no one's allowed in the waste. I feel like it's just more like if they respect you enough, then you're allowed in. Like Lan is allowed in.
Yeah.
Right.
We got his whole like, well, we don't know anything.
Well, they might have all met like in the Blight, because don't the people from the waste go to the Blight sometimes?
Well, they didn't say they know Land. They know of Land.
Yeah.
They know
and that's
of
from his
Land.
exploits during the Aiel War.
Yeah. So, and he's like the last man of Malkier, so like they
And
know
he's the
of
baby
the dude.
king.
Baby king, yeah.
Baby
So
king.
yeah, there's a whole lot of back history we still have not yet received.
Yes, that's all
Yeah.
accurate. Okay. All right. So while they're chatting about like Manetheren and the waste, Perrin says that the whole stuff about Manetheren was a long time ago, and no one is like a great warrior from
It's
the
so
two
good.
rivers anymore. And Gull is like, yeah, well, you and Rand and Matt are all excellent
Yeah,
fighters.
it's like, dude, I've seen you guys fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Hold up.
then Perrin doesn't see himself that way, though.
No, he doesn't. But who else lives in Emmons Field who's like a notable good fighter, man?
Oh,
Yeah.
Tam.
Tam friggin' Althor.
Yeah, and how about we get the
Mistress
scene
Luhan, I know,
Yeah,
with her
oh,
frying
yeah.
pan.
But we
right?
also get the scene with Matt kicking Gowan and Galad's ass. But then he says, "You think I'm good? My dad is 10 times better than me." So,
Right?
Abel Coffin.
I mean, there's some friggin' good warriors in the Two Rivers. Like, let's go.
Turns out it's the old blood.
It's the old blood and
it
that Two Rivers
sings
Tabak.
loudly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's fueling it.
Tabak.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So
Or go
Shire
act
lead.
like,
It's
Yeah.
the Shire lead.
it's the
Yeah.
Shire Weed. Okay.
Yeah.
So turns out that Gull knows quite a bit of the world from like reading books from peddlers. But then when he actually got out into the world and experienced it, it was all way different than he thought.
which again makes sense.
So then Gull asks about the Night Runner and Leaf Blighter, about them like being at the Waygate and like the Ravens and stuff. So like there's a lot of stuff going on here. I didn't know if you wanted to talk about it.
Well, he's like, what's up with those Trollocs in the Fade that we saw on the ways? Why are they
Oh, I didn't know if those were new names, but I've
here?
That's
No,
what
he's
the
just
IEL
literally
call
like, yo, we
Trollocs
ran
and
into a
Archers.
bunch of Shadow Spawn. Like, what's up with all
Leaf
that?
Blighter and Night Runner.
Well,
Yeah.
Leaf Blighter is the dark one,
Okay.
which is interesting because that sounds like something more that a tinker would say,
Mm,
calling someone like the IEL. One of the IEL terms for the dark one is Leaf Blighter. That's
Right.
just
Yeah.
an
and we
odd
got
term
in
for
one
an
of the
IEL.
like visions that all the Tora trees were dead.
Yeah. It's just an interesting
Yeah.
term for an IEL to use because there's no
Yeah.
chance. But
Right.
Night Runner is a fade.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like, what's up with the Fade and all the Dark One boys?
Okay, because I wasn't really sure.
Because I mean, that's a legitimate question. Why are they near Manetheren?
Yeah.
Like, why are they at the Waygate here? We came to Emmons Field.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are these like Trollocs still all left over from like
But I mean,
a year ago?
That's a question. We're here because Perrin's going because we got the White Cloaks, who also Thane is like basically there too with them, like leading or doing
There's
whatever,
a lot
whatever.
of stuff going on.
Why are there
Yeah.
Trollocs and Fades here? What's going on? Are there more?
Probably.
I mean, those are all the questions you have to kind of speculate about. So
That's true.
yeah.
All right. But Perrin says he means to find out tonight. Then I went, oh, he's getting better at controlling the dreaming stuff.
yeah.
Because before he was like, just try not to sleep. That was his way to like avoid
Yeah.
the dreams. And so it's like,
Yeah.
well, that's not
Typical
great.
man thing to do.
Yeah, fair. So before he goes to sleep, he asks Gull, like, why aren't you freaked out by my eyes?
Fair question.
Yeah, this is his greatest insecurity.
Mhm.
100%. He's like, are you looking at my eyes? Do you look at my you? Did you notice my eyes? Don't look at my eyes.
Yeah.
That's his biggest thing. And so Gull just says, well, the world is changing. And like, that's what the Aiel clan chiefs say and the wise ones say. So
Yeah.
basically, what does the color of someone's eyes matter?
Well, we get a couple, and the reason why I lost my point the last time about the whole thing was because I put my information here that I want to talk about.
Oh,
I just
here it
remembered I
is.
was going to talk about it, but it's like, yeah, the whole like the creator put us in the threefold land to shape us and punish us for our sins. But it's like, was that actually a creator thing? I mean, then we can get into like philosophy, but anyways,
I just think that's more because he doesn't know who actually put them there, and since it's mythological to them, he says the creator.
but I
He
mean, that's
hasn't
the
gone
thing.
into
There's-
Viridian yet.
to like the regular regular Aiel folk, it is mythology, and
Yeah.
clearly, but that's important because the wise ones and the clan chiefs don't talk about it.
Yep.
Right? They don't talk about that shit clearly because otherwise anyone would know. But Gaul is also a smart guy, so everyone's saying that Gaul needs to go become a clan chief.
Yep.
Here's the thing.
Amis threatens to send him to Iridian a couple
Yeah,
times.
I want to get a prediction from Danny with Gaul specifically. Is Gaul gonna become a clan chief? And if he is gonna become a clan chief, is he gonna survive Ruidian?
Oh, if he's going to, then yeah, he's gonna survive.
He's got like the mentality to survive all that stuff.
Oh yeah, he's like, yeah, shit changes.
Okay, so
he's already like, oh, so many Aiel wouldn't go that far.
Yeah.
Right? It was too far from the waste and whatever. But he was like, no, I'm going to go help my buddy. I'm going to go. I'm going to explore things. I'm going to do things.
Yeah.
Like, he's much more open-minded, I think, than
we saw Muradin,
the average Aiel.
Muradin, like, chew his tongue out and scratch his eyeballs out. And then Couladin, Muradin's dick younger brother,
is not going. He's not
going to be allowed to go.
Yeah. What about
can't handle it, sure.
what does the chat think if he would survive or not? See.
Ooh, only first-time readers. If you know...
Yeah.
Just if right now, where we are in the story, Gaul was to enter Iridian, would he be able to go through the columns and survive?
Yep.
I feel like it's pretty safe to say. Like,
I'll watch it. I got it up.
Okay. I feel like, he's a pretty level-headed guy. Like, he takes everything in stride. Even when parents like, yo, we got to go through the ways, Gaul's just like, cool. Yep, okay.
I don't know if that's like an Aiel thing though, to just sort of like accept what comes, and I don't know Aiel well enough at this point.
Yeah,
but I think that because he's like, things change and we have to accept that.
That's a huge step in the right direction,
that's a huge thing. And like, he did spend a lot of time just sitting in a cage for a while, right? Like, he's the one who was captured wherever the hell they were.
He's the guy.
Yeah. And you'll actually learn more about that as you. They do explore the Aiel's culture more so than a lot of the other cultures, the ancillary cultures.
It's because it's so super interesting and different from the rest of them.
It is. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get into this next sequence.
Yeah. Okay. Dream time. It's dream time.
Dream time.
Dream time. So Perrin goes to sleep, tells Gaul to kick him awake if needed. Heads into the dream, goes to sleep. He's in the same place that he's gone to sleep in, but it's daytime. And he has a sense of being a wolf, and he thinks, no. And then he is human.
Phew.
But he's with the hammer. No, I'm going to say it again. But he has the hammer in his belt. But then he thinks of his axe, and the axe flickers there, but then changes back to the hammer. So this is exactly reminiscent of Egwene figuring out Tel'aran'rhiod.
Yep.
Because she would like imagine herself like, I don't even remember, like without clothes on, or then with a different colored dress, or
being able to control your thoughts of yourself. Your own inner vision of yourself.
Right. And then when she went like flying around Tenchico.
Well, we get that exact same sequence.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's like that exact thing.
Yeah, where she basically just like thinks, oh, I can do this, and then does it.
So, well, also like the super irresponsibleness of what they're doing.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's get there. Let's get there.
That connection. That's funny.
We're gonna get there in a second.
So parents,
you get further in the books. I gotta see your reactions. Oh my god, I gotta see your reactions.
I know. I can't wait. Okay, so this is where Perrin gets some Egwene-like visions.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Perrin has seen these before, or if we've just never been in his head when he's seen them. But he gets a weird window in the sky. Yeah,
so we haven't seen it exactly in the same format, but we definitely have seen Perrin seeing things.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So we get Perrin seeing Rand standing with winds swirling around him with gold and scarlet dragons flying around, and then it winks out, which is interesting because this time they don't settle on his skin.
Yeah, that's true.
Because with Egwene, they were settling on his skin, and that's when we had the whole thing about how he's going to get dragon ass tattoos.
That's right.
And that was a whole conversation. And then
which it still might be true. We don't know.
It still might be, but in this,
that's my next tattoo now.
That's yeah.
Yeah. So then he sees another window showing Nynaeve and Elaine walking around in clearly evil Tanchico hunting a dangerous beast.
Yes. Now he sees it as a dangerous beast.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what are your thoughts on that? It's because, I mean, like, they're not going because there's a dangerous beast. They're going there because there's something that's dangerous to Rand.
Yeah.
It's never been classified as a beast.
No, it's just, and it says specifically, like,
he just knows it's
that's
dangerous.
how he notes it, is it's dangerous. So,
yeah.
I mean, obviously all of this is interpretations.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's a big giant, like, Grom or something.
Okay.
Like when you say beast, like that's like literally what I
It's
think
the
of.
skeleton of that friggin' giraffe is going to come to life.
And the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
The mammoth or whatever it was.
Yeah. That could just be the way Perrin interprets.
It could be, yeah.
That's what I think it is too. Yeah.
Because he's a wolf, so in this sense, so he
Makes
is
sense.
like that's how they interpret it.
Yeah, it's just clear they're hunting something somewhere evil, and that's
we get a nice Matt note too. I like this one.
Yeah. So we see another window with Matt wearing a hat and carrying a weird staff, which is like the one he got
Fancy
from
new spear.
The Fox people.
He actually sees the blade on the staff, like
the blade.
References the blade on the staff.
Right. So Matt is standing at a forked road, flips a coin, and like essentially chooses a path.
Yeah.
Which makes sense for Matt.
That's how he chooses everything pretty much so far.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. And this whole thing about Matt wearing a hat, I know that this is going to be a thing or something, but I think it's just a hat.
You don't think there's anything special about the hat?
No.
Like we've talked about this because we were gifted lovely artwork from one of our lovely fans, and Matt is wearing a hat.
Yeah.
I just have to say.
Yeah.
So we don't know.
The thing. Okay. Yeah. I had said in our character prediction bonus episode that I think Matt's hat is literally just Robert Jordan
projecting.
Because he likes to wear hats.
Yeah.
He just gives one of his characters a hat to
Which
wear.
is totally possible too. We don't know.
I think it might also be some of the Odin stuff because
that's true too.
Odin.
I don't know Odin.
You're killing our bonus episodes here, Tom.
My bad.
No, he's sparking
I just love this stuff. I love
interest.
I'm actually I got ordained to do a marriage with somebody, and I had to pick a religion, so I picked Odinism, Astaru.
Tom, can we do a bonus episode just strict on Norse mythology? Can we just chat for 2 hours about it?
100%.
We're gonna do that.
Hey, look, I got this sitting on my desk right here because I'm reading it right now.
I love it. Okay.
It's the Neil Gaiman Norse mythology book that he wrote. Anyway, but Odin, there was a myth, one of the folk stories that the Vikings would tell, or the Norsemen would tell about Odin, is that he would go around on Midgard dressed as an old man with a hat and a cloak. So that could be
interesting.
We gotta limit what we talk about here too, just in case.
I like my theory mostly that it's just Robert Jordan projecting himself into a character.
I also
wear that hat all the time.
Yeah.
Because Harriet said it looked good on him. That was a fun fact.
That was a fun fact. There was a quote from him about that. So
that was 100% true. She liked it, so he wore it.
Which is good advice. Like if your wife likes something, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
It helped that it made him look suave. So
okay, so we do have another window, vision, another vision of parents. Yes. So we have a window in the sky. It's Egwene with a woman with long white hair staring at him in surprise.
Who's that?
It's Amis. But behind them, the White Tower is crumbling. Uh-oh.
Okay, do you want to talk about the White Tower thing, or the fact that they're totally looking at him and
they're
being
totally looking at him in the dream world? They're like, what are you doing?
So that's like him seeing them seeing him situation.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
But what I thought was more interesting is the White Tower crumbling.
Okay, but
that's bad. You want to tell me that the White Tower crumbling is good?
No, but interpret it, because do you think that the White Tower is literally gonna Like
No, maybe not. Maybe it's a dream, so I have to interpret it. But we do know we have a bunch of
dreams are hard.
dreams are difficult.
You got a lot of min
viewings-
visions too about stuff with the tower.
Min's viewings
Yeah.
about a bunch of people being like captured and killed and whatever in the tower.
That's true.
So like clearly something's gonna happen.
Her time frames are not like
No,
That's
a
chapter one of
Hard
this
to be
book, so
accurate.
not a spoiler.
yeah.
Haha. Okay. But yeah, so that's what we get there. Perrin thinks about what Moraine told him about Tel'aran'rhiod and how it's similar to the wolf dream. And it's like, yeah, bud.
Yeah, man, same
It's
thing.
the same fucking thing. Same place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we've talked about Elias' reunion with Perrin.
Yeah, Perrin wishes he could talk to Elias.
You still think that's going to happen?
Yeah, I almost half expected Elias to pop up here somehow.
Does not happen.
Would have been
No.
nice.
It would have been nice because I think that Elias probably also can access the dream world.
It's Elias shooting down the hawks. Boom, figured it out.
No. No, Brett. Not even. You can't get me with that.
Tom,
one.
play along.
Yeah, that's totally what it
Sometimes
was.
Brett says stuff like that and I believe him. But that one, no.
Yeah. No, I know.
Okay.
But okay.
All right. So he's like, I wish I could talk to Elias. And then he goes, hey, wait, where's my bud?
Yeah.
Where's my buddy?
Hopper.
Where is he? So he calls out, Hopper. Doesn't show up.
Yeah.
So what's up with that?
Perception's bad in the mountains.
Yeah, this is bad. This is like, this is where I started to care about these chapters.
Okay.
This is where I was like, oh, fuck.
Because there might be a puppy that got hurt.
My puppy. My heckin' good doggo.
Yeah.
Better not be hurt here. So
Hopper got murdered once.
yeah, I know. That
Oh,
was
God.
that was like
Too soon.
Oh man.
that was so bad.
That was so funny, especially with her predictions, just for the fact that it's like, hey, we got to introduce this gigantic, awesome wolf named Hopper, and then gets fucking murdered
Murdered,
right away,
yeah.
like immediately
so bad.
after being introduced. And she's like, I thought he was going to play a bigger role.
Yeah.
And then I predicted him
Well-
being a Jedi ghost, and I was right.
You were not
He's
wrong.
a blue glowy.
Right? Okay, so Hopper doesn't show up. I'm sad. Perrin thinks about how he wants to get down to the place where the ravens were and how it's going to take a long time to walk there, so he better get started. And then he takes a step and he's there.
Yep.
So he's just like Egwene,
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
figuring out the dream world.
But also, it also made me feel like how Egwene was like, I got to search for the evil people to see what's going on. And then she's flying around Tanchico.
Yeah.
And then Perrin's the exact same thing. He's like, oh, I saw a bunch of Trollocs and Fades and murdering person hawk ravens situation. Like
Yeah.
someone's shooting hawks out of the air.
You
And he's like, I'm
you
just
should
going to,
try words better.
no, I got this. And then he's just like,
Words.
he's jumping around the mountains, all like learning Tel'aran'rhiod.
Yeah.
And it's like, it feels the same where there's like that, I'm figuring it out, but I'm being super irresponsible while
But he
doing
also
it.
is having fun. And when was the
That was the reason why.
Okay, but listen though. When was the last time Perrin ever had fun?
Never.
It was 1987. And
Yeah, you tell me, because I like this chapter is a Perrin chapter and I like it.
yeah.
So it's because he's having fun and he's not thinking it's exciting, it's interesting, it's
Yep.
not dull.
The last time
Think
Perrin
for
had
5
fun
minutes about everything.
was when he had those Tinker women dancing for him.
No,
Oh, he
hated
was
that.
super uncomfortable.
That was the
Oh, yeah.
worst.
Super
You liked
uncomfortable. Probably when he was smithing in Tyr. That was probably the last time he had fun.
Yeah.
When he was smithing,
Yeah,
that's when he was
yeah.
having fun.
Yeah.
And there was no Forge sex scene, and I was so upset about it.
Yeah, that happened too. Like it was a perfect opportunity.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
Didn't get taken.
It's a,
Oh well.
it's a great way to burn your ass on something.
Well, no, I mean, like, be careful. But if you're,
Hey,
I've
you know,
seen movies.
Yes, that's true.
I've seen movies. In
Eh.
movies, there would be 100% at least a make out.
Yeah.
Then there wasn't. I was upset
Yeah.
about it, but it doesn't matter. I digress. So, anyway, Perrin starts having fun. There's no sign of the archer or ravens here, so he focuses on like that mountain peak over there, and he steps there, and he's thinking this is super fun, and he starts leaping around the mountains, calling to Hopper, who doesn't come. And I think that Perrin should be more concerned about Hopper and this wolf thing than he is.
Sure.
right? So the problem is, like, it's troubling that there are no wolves here or anywhere he's like flown to.
Yeah.
So we get some carvings and stuff in the mountains, and I'm wondering if they're important enough to talk about or if we can skip over them.
No, well, I didn't pick up anything specifically about the carvings in the mountains. It's just like super ancient stuff.
It's just like old Manetheren stuff, right?
Yeah,
Probably.
probably. It's like ancient civilizations.
Yeah.
It kind of gets like the Lord of the Rings
But it's
vibe.
also Dream World, so
Who knows?
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
We'll skip over it then.
Yeah,
you
there's
don't
nothing
have to
that
dwell-
important there.
You don't have to dwell on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Perrin has gotten closer to the two rivers, or I guess to Emmonsfield, sort of, and he's by the sand hills, and now he sees another man who
Ooh.
looks familiar.
Oh, you picked up on that. Okay.
Yeah, he thinks this guy looks familiar, which is interesting. And I immediately think, like, who is it? A Forsaken, maybe, because he's had a dream before where he saw a bunch of the Forsakens like having a meeting and like yelling at each other.
He did see that.
But this guy doesn't really smell human,
Yes.
which maybe could be a 3,000-year-old Forsaken.
could be.
I
They're
don't
still
actually.
human.
They're still human.
Yeah.
But like Balthamel, the guy with like the flaky skin and stuff.
I
Like,
get it.
how human does that guy smell?
Yeah.
Right. And like is it Agenor who had the like mask? Like, I
Yeah.
don't
I
know.
think Balthamel had the mask on.
I don't even remember. But those guys are fucking ancient. Like, there's
Yeah.
no way
Okay.
they smell.
Listen, 3,000 years of being
like
aired out in
I mean,
the
like
sun.
a person who's like 70, 80 years old, they start to have a smell. So like
That's because your body's dying. So.
That's it.
3,000 years. Of course, they don't smell human.
Okay. So
Okay.
are you legitimately going with like this dude is a Forsaken?
We'll get there.
Okay.
I have
We'll
more
get there.
predictions.
There's
Oh
more.
man. Okay.
There's
Okay.
no
I have more
descriptor of the
predictions.
dude.
I have
Okay.
more predictions. This is my first prediction.
Okay.
That's like the first thing I thought of when I was reading,
Okay.
because who is familiar to Perrin?
Elias shooting down hawks.
Okay. All right.
Tam.
So so the man notices Perrin and then takes off. And then Perrin dream leaps over to where the guy was and sees that he was skinning a wolf.
Oh my god.
A bad
Whoa.
wolf. So
That's
bad.
bad news bears.
It's
That's so bad.
bad. This is really so bad. And because we're in the dream world, and if wolves die here, then they're really dead, right?
Yep, forever.
Yeah.
They're dead,
yeah.
dead. They're not just like a little bit dead.
I mean,
Their
this is
strand,
again,
their strand is cut.
yeesh, that sounds bad.
Yeah.
That sounds worse.
Which
That
is
sounds
interesting.
Worse than dead.
I want to talk about what Hopper
Mostly dead.
when Hopper comes in, I want to talk about that too.
Okay. Fair. So basically, Perrin just chases this guy around the Dream Two Rivers.
Zip
Yeah.
zap.
Yeah. And then he gets over to the Terran River.
Kind of like Dragon Ball Z fighting. They're like,
The animation is just like
Yeah.
still motion.
yeah,
like this with,
With,
like
like-
lots of lines behind him.
yeah.
It's
Okay.
cheaper animate that way. So
It's great. It's so
Yeah.
good. So they get over to the Terran River and they see a glittery tower of metal,
Mhm.
and the guy he is chasing heads right for it and then like vanishes inside it.
Okay. Do you remember the first time that we've seen this?
No.
We've seen this tower before.
Oh.
Do you recall? Testing your memory.
We saw
Huh?
when we were on the ship with Bail Daman.
Yes.
Woohoo!
Yes.
I knew,
Okay.
I knew we saw something, and then
Yeah,
that's
and
what
that-
sparked the conversation
Can I?
about the sphere
Yeah, the tower. of
doodad
vision.
on Tremalking.
Can I tell you exactly? Okay, so back in Eye of the World, chapter 24, and it's when Matt and Rand are going down the Arenal on Bail Damon's ship,
Uh-huh.
our favorite pirate
The
captain.
spray.
Yeah, they noticed
After
that
Shadow
sun,
Logoth.
yeah, sun glints off something metal in the distance, and it's a tower of metal, which is 10 days from Whitebridge.
Yep.
And it's shining steel by the look and feel. There's no sputter rust. It's 200 feet high, as big around as a house, no mark, no opening. And Matt thinks
There's treasure
there
inside.
must be treasure inside. Something like that must be protecting
and he's
something
all
valuable.
cursed and daggery and thinking, I want treasure because I'm
And
more
it's
death.
Matt and his treasure.
Yeah.
Which is
He's the
hilarious because of what we
he's the
learn about this
D&D
tower
rogue.
soon.
He is the D&D rogue. That's
I love it.
Yes, that is
I
him.
love it.
Accurate. That is accurate.
Oof.
Interesting. Okay. I didn't make that connection.
Yeah.
But
Matt and his treasure, which is
are you impressed though that I actually remember?
I actually am.
impressed
Yeah,
with
that was a
myself.
good one. That was such a little
I'm proud
tidbit.
of
And
you.
I remember doing that chapter with you back in book 1. I was like, oh my God, I have to point it out. And you were like, I don't even care about this little metal tower. And I was like, it's going to be important.
Everything is important. Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
In 2021, you're going to want me to talk about this.
Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay, cool. I like that. So Perrin gets to it and it's 200 feet tall. It's 400 feet thick and it's
Nope. 40.
40 feet thick. That's what I meant. Okay, I'm going to say it again. So Perrin gets to it and it's 200 feet tall and 40 feet thick. Basically a solid column of metal with no apparent doorway. And he wants to find a way in. And I think, no, don't do it, man.
Gotta chase this dude.
No, don't do it. So, you know what's interesting though? The way that Perrin's looking at it is as with like a blacksmith eye, right?
Like,
Because
how
it's
did
like,
this? How did they make this?
how did they make this?
Yeah.
He's like, he's looking for the like welded seams,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And he can't like that part.
Well, that's how he
I
looked
love
at
that
Gaul's
writing.
cage. That's how he looked at Gaul's cage. He was like, oh, this is shitty. This is terribly
Yeah.
built. This is how I can pop open the door.
Yeah.
But it's like, then that's how he got Gaul out. That's like
He's an
legitimately what
engineer.
happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a question. Maybe you want to talk about it an hour later.
What?
Did this dude actually go inside this tower?
Yeah.
He zip zapped inside. He's like in there.
Mhm.
Okay.
Because did you know that? Well, number one, we're in the dream world,
Sure.
so you could probably just think yourself inside it.
Okay.
Number one. Number two, we're also in a world where like magic exists.
Yeah, I'm just
So
saying, like,
yeah,
was it
I think he got in there.
based on what we get? It's like a really dangerous tower, and you shouldn't go inside there.
It's
So
dangerous, but this guy like smells like evil and shit. He's evil, so like
was it a
obvious-
fake out though? Was it
But
like
also, how's about also? How is this guy in the world of dreams? We know Wolf Brothers can get in the world of dreams. We know
Yeah.
Wise Ones can get in the world of dreams.
dreamers?
streamers? Yeah.
How is this dude in the world of dreams?
Right. So interesting because we're gonna get there because
Yeah.
Hopper's gonna explain it a little.
Yeah, I feel like we yeah. Okay, let's come
Yeah,
back.
yeah, yeah.
Let's get there.
Okay.
Let's get there.
So Hopper finally shows up and I'm relieved and I'm happy. And he tells Perrin to stop. This place is bad. This place is evil. Stop it. Stop chasing this guy. Stop trying to get into this place. It's bad. So he tells Perrin that the man he chases is named Slayer in like wolf names because obviously he's slaying the fucking wolves.
Yeah, that's
But
okay.
also the hawks and other animals. Like, he's just killing everything.
Seems that way. Yeah. So what I find it interesting that Perrin could see the ravens and the hawk get killed in regular world.
Mhm.
Okay.
So it's something to think about.
I'm gonna think about it. That's something to think about. Anyway, so this guy named Slayer is here in the flesh and he can kill here. And then that's something we heard about 2 chapters ago with the wise ones and Egwene
Yes.
about some people can go all the way into the dream world in the flesh.
It was a thing done long
For
ago.
evil.
Yeah. Well, okay. So then this is like the contentious point of it is they said it was something that was done long ago and they did evil. So it is an evil thing to go into the like in the flesh. So
Because
it's
you
like,
can't get back or something.
no, we didn't get like, you can't go back.
Didn't they say that going in the flesh was evil?
They said it. They said, so specifically what they said is they went in the flesh and they did evil. So it's an evil thing.
Okay.
It's like a one because of the other. Like
Got it.
because you go in and you do evil, it's an evil thing to do. So
Interesting.
don't do it.
Interesting.
It was a very interesting type of phrasing for it.
Yeah.
So we don't know if it's like naturally an evil thing or is it like evil because the people who did it
did evil things.
and
then I
thus
had
it
this
is
whole
evil.
speculation about how Lanfear claims the dream world as her own, and was she the one who was going in and doing evil things, and like I had that whole thing, right?
Or is it like all the Forsaken, or like what's really going on
what's
here?
happening,
So,
or is it more than just Forsaken, right?
Yeah, so I
'Cause
mean,
obviously there's more evil in the world than just the shadow.
yeah. So I mean,
So-
that kind of leads a little bit in the direction of like, is this dude some sort of Forsaken type? If he's doing
I'm
these,
still at this point in the chapter on the Forsaken train.
okay,
So, people being here in the flesh is a thing remembered from long ago and come again. So I think that's what Hopper says, and that's a thing that's reminiscent of what the wise one said.
Yeah.
And the things of the shadow walk in the dream now.
yeah, and that makes sense.
So that made me go, oh, things of shadow, that's probably Forsaken.
Yeah, that makes sense too.
So Perrin says that he will go in and kill him. And Hopper warns him that this tower is evil and like, don't do that.
Plan is bad. Yeah.
He listens.
No,
There's a point for him. He listens.
He does. He does listen to him. I mean, also kind of, sort of. He sort of listens to Hopper.
He only listens because he can't figure out how to get in. If he could figure out how to get in, he'd be in there, I think.
Yeah.
Dream Perrin is awesome.
One of the things I want to point out is that it's an interesting take on how Hopper talks about the dude who's killing the wolves, because Perrin's like, I gotta catch him because he's killing wolves, and Hopper's response is, men have killed wolves and wolves men. Why does this anger seize your throat? Like, why are you so angry about the fact that a man is killing wolves?
Yeah.
Men kill wolves, wolves kill men. But then he's like, oh, but also if you get killed in the dream world, you die forever.
Just, like, die,
so it's like, why is he so like lenient the first time, and then the second time he's like, this is terrible.
He also only showed up once Slayer left.
Yeah, that's true too.
Good point.
Yeah.
I thought he was showing up because Perrin was in some sort of like danger and peril and was like going to do something stupid.
I mean, there might be that correlation too.
That might be the correlation, but like Slayer
correlation
gone,
does not equal causation.
Yeah, Slayer leaves, Hopper shows up. So it was
okay. Yeah, okay. This is all very interesting. This is why I hate the dream world, by the way, because like literally anything could be true, and like,
because we don't know the rules
how
yet.
am I supposed to make any like logical prediction in a place that doesn't adhere to logic?
I mean, we know some rules, but it's tough. Okay, let's keep going. Keep going.
Okay.
This next part is the part I've been waiting for.
I know it is.
Yeah.
I know it is.
Okay, this is good. I wonder if I picked up on the part that you picked up on.
We'll see. We'll see.
So so after Hopper warns him that this tower is evil, all of a sudden there is someone else there talking to Perrin. Enter blonde lady.
Yes.
So interesting. Now she tells him that this place is called the Tower of Genjai, and it is a bad place for humankind.
Yes.
Now, this is a blonde woman with weird clothes on, and do you want to know who I initially think this is?
Oh my God, who do you think it is?
Well, who is the last blonde lady we saw in the dream world? Okay, I'm just Brigitte.
Brigitte.
So
she was like staring at Egwene.
She was in the waist with like Amis or something. And
okay, so hold on. When you said the weird clothes, the thing that you didn't say was like her golden braid,
her puffy pants.
Puffy pants, and
I think it's a good look. She's fashionable.
Yeah, I mean, who like if it is her, then she would be, someone from a very long time ago. So her fashion would be very different.
Oh, 100%. So I have like Brigitte like, how do you say it? I don't even know.
Brigida.
Question mark. And then I said, or some other hero, because I also have a theory that the heroes of the Horn all live in the dream world.
Yeah, she does have that theory. She had a theory where they all lived in Ruidian.
Because it
then
belongs to the dead.
It belongs to the dead. It's not a bad theory. She doesn't 100%.
I thought it was a city in the clouds where all the heroes of the Horn lived.
Which is like a
Victory
cool
Village.
But you mean like Valhalla?
Like I dig it. I totally dig that one.
Just
but it's
like
like
that.
the Victory Village thing doesn't work. But
it doesn't. Turns out.
Possibly living in the dream world, or at least like I don't know.
Least being active there, because Hopper is dead in the real world and not dead here. And like, where do the heroes of the Horn just like come after you like call them?
And she's pretty set that it has to be a physical plague. It can't just be like a out of nowhere.
No.
So
they all hang out clearly.
Yeah.
So I think that
the way they were talking when Matt called them, they seem like they all know each other. Yeah.
Yeah, they all know each other. They've been hanging out, obviously in the dream world. So anyway, so this is probably one of the heroes, and probably Brigida, because it's the only one I actually know the name of.
I need to know how in detail you actually read these sentences, because it's not necessarily supposed to be that secret.
No, I know.
Okay.
So let's get into it, because that was just like the second I saw her, that's what I thought of.
Okay.
So then let's get into it further, because she says that he has sharp eyes, and she thought that the first time she saw him. So that means she's seen him before.
Yeah. And why does she think he has sharp eyes? Because he notices. Okay. So he notices that something metallic flickers, and she's like trying to hide something.
Oh, right.
He spots the metallic flickering, and she like turns herself, and she's like, "Oh, you got sharp eyes, buddy."
Yeah.
And who do we know who has metallic equipment? From the Great Hunt. From the Horn of Valir.
Is it
Brigida? What's her whole name?
Brigida Silverbow.
Silverbow!
With her silver bow.
Bam!
Yeah,
so
she's got her silver bow. You're totally right. Yeah.
Totally right.
So this is the thing. It's not supposed to be necessarily secret.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, that's good.
I don't know that. Sometimes things are so secret for 8 books.
Yes.
Yeah. If you just read back to the Horn of Valir sequence in the Great Hunt, you would have known.
This is why rereading them is so fun, because you pick up on little shit like this as you go back.
And that's why we're doing the podcast, so she doesn't have to necessarily wait another time. She can just get it now.
This is so crazy. Okay, cool. So she's like, you have sharp eyes.
And it's the golden braid too. Like the golden braid is
golden braid. Well, that's what I thought, because like she's blonde and
she's like, oh, I saw you running through the sky, shooting an arrow at boats, and they were exploding. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
She was the one who like,
Yeah. Okay. Because my other point here is he asks if she's an Aes Sedai, and she like laughs and is like, no, but this place is dangerous. Basically impossible to leave, like the tower.
Yes.
The tower is dangerous. If you go in, you basically can't leave it. And she says that he has the bravery of a bannerman, and that's when I went, okay, totally, he was the bannerman for Rand.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. So he's the bannerman, and I went, yeah.
Also, like regular bannermen have crazy courage because you're running into battle with a flag.
With a banner, Otto Hawkwind called him Bannerman.
Yes. Right?
Yeah.
So we have like Matt the trumpeter, and then we obviously have the Dragon Reborn, and then Perrin's like, I'll just hold this flag like this. And then...
It's a position of honor.
Clearly.
How dare you?
Yeah.
I'll give you a position of honor.
But I mean, like, obviously, if this is like, I didn't actually expect for you to.
It's not supposed to be. I got more for you too. Like we're gonna.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I'm just on this like high from.
We're almost there. Right. We're almost to the part that I've been waiting for.
Oh, I thought, the part that I picked up on was the bravery of a bannerman, and I thought that little thing was going to be like. Boom.
I thought you were going to figure it out at the golden braid.
Well, I did.
I know, but I thought like.
But this solidified. I just didn't know you were going to actually. Let me know.
I don't mind confirming things that we can like confirm from stuff we've seen.
Yeah, this is
thus far.
Silverbow. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just so excited that I get something right. I don't get things right a lot. This is great.
That's not true. You just don't know when you
It's
get
like
things
50-50.
right.
It's like 50-50.
Because I don't confirm everything by any means, but
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
if we could piece it together, like
Yeah,
I
this
have
is
no
something.
problem. Like,
This is something that you would know. Like you can know at this. Like you should. I don't want to say
Yeah.
should, but it's something that
Yeah.
you know at this point. Like you would know.
yeah.
Cool.
If
Okay.
you had read the 4 books, waited 2 years for the next one to come out, and reread them like 5 times, you'd be like, yeah, it makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It doesn't matter. So he's like, yeah, I guess. But then he says that Hopper is like, oh yeah, that's dangerous too. And she's like, what the fuck? You can talk to wolves? And he's like, so yeah.
Yeah.
There's that
She
also.
thinks that it's also super old.
Oh yeah, it is old.
And she's like an old person.
She's very old.
Yeah. I mean, like
Just like,
hero of the horn type old.
okay, so not only am I right about the Brigida thing, but I also think we need to acknowledge that I'm right about the Heroes of the Horn living in Teleran.
Okay, we don't actually know that. We just know that she is physically right now in Teleran.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not giving you
But she's here. And
I am
that's
giving
like,
you everything you think that you want.
but I want it. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, so she tells him that this tower is the doorway to the realms of the Eilfin and the Eelfin.
Yeah, so this is
Aethan
a
and
big point of
Eelfin.
contention.
Shh. What was it?
I always say Aethin and Eelfin, like A and E.
Yeah, Aelfin and Eelfin. Audiobooks say Aelfin and Eelfin. There's
Yeah.
a whole bunch of
Aelfin.
Elfin.
Eelfin.
Elfin and Eelfin.
Yeah.
Elfin,
Anyway.
Eelfin.
Like pronounce the A and the E hard.
Yeah, got it.
That's how I differentiate it in my brain.
Well, you have to.
So
Otherwise, it's the same word.
So this is a big point that I need to get out here. So the biggest prediction that we've ever had in the podcast so far, I need you to tell me which one is the Aelfin and which one is the Eelfin. We've got the fox people and the snake people. Which one's the Aelfin and which one's the Eelfin?
That's what you want me to predict?
That's what I need you to predict. I know everybody's waiting for it. Everybody wants to know what you think.
Ahead.
No, right now.
Okay, you have to understand though, number one,
Sure.
when I was reading this, the next like couple paragraphs blew my mind and I learned something completely fucking new. And like, I get that this isn't new to you, but you're saying snake people and fox people, like it's nothing. And literally last episode we recorded on Monday,
Uh-huh.
you told like 5 days ago, you told me I predicted that there were more doorways and more animal people.
You did think that, yes.
So like you're skipping ahead of like my crazy mind-blowing thing.
Okay.
So yes, there's snakes and fox people.
Okay. Can we come back to it then? Can we just like keep moving
No,
forward
I
and come
can
back?
say
Okay.
the eelfin are the snakes because I picture eels being like this,
Fair.
being like snake-like.
Okay.
That's all.
Slither is
So that would mean the
snakes.
Aelfin are the fox people and the Eelfin are the snake people. That's what you think?
The eelfin are the snakes.
Yeah. And the Aelfin are the foxes.
Yep.
Okay.
Logical.
All right. Well, we just got to get it out there. So
Cool.
yeah.
Then she says,
Let's get back into the good stuff.
have you heard of the games of snakes and foxes? Mic drop. That's a mic drop moment.
That is
It
100%.
doesn't seem like a mic drop moment for people who've read the series 18 times, but for me, I went, oh my God.
Now, I get it. This is the first mention we've ever heard of this game.
Yeah.
This
that's
was
a
such a
huge
big
thing.
fucking deal. It was
Yeah.
such a BFD. So apparently this is a game for children, which is impossible to win unless you break the rules. So the rules are, or breaking the rules are, I'm not sure.
The only way
I
to
understand.
win is to break the rules.
And these are the rules, courage to strengthen, or is this the breaking the rules?
So this is a line from the game, and these are the ways to win.
Okay.
Recall.
Courage to strengthen,
No, go ahead.
fire to bind, music to
Blind.
daze. Oh, I'm gonna say it again. And my notes say bind. Blind.
Blind.
It's blind.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
The
blind.
last one is
Okay, I'm gonna say it again. Courage to strengthen, fire to blind, music to daze, iron to bind, which is a line from the game.
Yes.
Now you just read this chapter, so recall what did the fox people say to Matt?
And the snake
And
people.
the snake people. They
But
both
you just
talked
read
about
the
it.
fox one, so
Yeah.
Yeah, those things aren't allowed.
Yeah.
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 Well, anything to make fire, music, or iron. Those
Yeah, they're
things
like,
aren't
you don't have any
allowed.
like lamps or torches or iron or instruments of music, right?
Yeah, and Matt's like, what the fuck? No, are you gonna answer my
Yeah.
fucking questions?
Yeah.
Which
that-
makes sense why Rand coming out with his
Fire
flaming sword.
Yeah.
Totally blinded them.
Fire sword.
Now that I get it.
Which
I-
is so that's also another little reference Robert Jordan sprinkled in there from the Fae.
Yeah.
And Celtic lore and even some Norse mythology too.
Tell you,
The Fae are mesmerized
fairies.
by the Fae are mesmerized by music, and they're allergic to iron and so on and so forth.
Yeah. There's a whole thing about cold iron we can talk about.
Okay, so those are the ways to win against the snakes and foxes. This is a game in remembrance of old dealings. And I wrote in my notes, shocked emoji face. like this seriously blew my mind. And then I started thinking about how Perrin is like, oh yeah, we played that game all the time. And I'm just thinking about how Matt probably played that game all the time.
Fair.
And at no point
Okay.
has he connected these dots.
He's
Okay.
not a thinker. He's
Okay.
not a thinker.
No. But I have a very valid justification for this. So like
Okay.
when we say snakes and foxes, my brain always automatically went to snakes and ladders. I know some
Yeah.
people call it shoots and ladders.
Yeah.
But it's
we
like a
called
game-
it Snakes and Ladders.
Yeah, that's like what is called and branded as in Canada. So it's like you have the game where you got to go up the board and snakes and ladders, and you basically always cheat because you don't want to go on a ladder and get like dropped down to the bottom of the
No,
game.
the snake you go down, the ladder
Ladder
you
you
go
climb
up.
up. But it's like you don't want to do that. So if you had a childhood game where it's called like snakes and foxes, when you played as a kid, and then you go into these magical portals that are like not snake people, they're just like kind of
He
snake-ish.
calls them snake people.
He does.
He does. He's like, oh, they're kind of like snaky.
You know what?
They're kind of
Okay,
foxy.
listen to me though for a second, because I think maybe he might be able to make a connection, because we haven't heard his like actual thought pattern since he's come out from the foxes.
That's true.
At some point he might be able to connect snakes and foxes and the iron and music and fire thing.
Yeah.
But maybe before there were foxes, it's not immediately obvious.
Well, and that's what I'm saying is like it's such an obscure kind of reference that it's not an exact
from
parallel.
childhood.
It's not a
Yeah.
parallel where it's like, oh, that these are the snake people from the childhood game
Yeah.
Snakes and Foxes that
I know,
played.
but I do have to say, come on, Matt, let's make some connections.
He's
And
not a
that's-
thinker. He's not.
It's asking a lot of Matt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a pretty face.
He has a pretty face.
If he was
I
from the
hope so.
South, people would say "bless your heart" to him a lot.
Yeah. Well, it's just funny because we've learned that is not necessarily a nice thing to say.
It's not.
We didn't
It's-
know that. I
That's-
thought that was like a aw. It's not.
but apparently it's like a
It can be
Yeah.
both. It could be either or, but usually, if it's after you've said something that is incorrect, then it's not nice.
well, I think because Danny said it at some point in a podcast,
Yeah.
and it
I
turns
thought I
out it
was
was like,
going to
well,
appeal to like our
yeah.
southern,
But apparently, no, that's a
Fan
not
base?
nice thing to say.
No.
So,
because it doesn't come naturally to me to say something like that.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
Oh well.
fun things to learn.
Yeah.
Hey, cultures clash sometimes, you know?
Okay, so we're shocked. We're like, oh my God, this makes so much sense. And then I thought that maybe the guy who's in the dream world right now,
Slayer.
skinning foxes,
Yeah.
or no, skinning wolves. I thought maybe he's not a Forsaken, but maybe he's like a snake or like a fox person, a eelfin or an eelfin,
So they can also get access to this realm.
if they can come in and out of the
Not,
doorway.
not impossible. I mean, here's another thing to consider. Matt was found hanging from the tree of life outside of the doorway. How did he get there if the snakes / foxes can't exit said doorway to get him up on that tree?
Ooh,
Because they were
right.
like carrying him,
Yeah,
or like previously, I think
they had to hang him from the tree.
the
Like, he
snakes
didn't
were like
hang
carrying him and
himself.
tossed him out the doorway, and the fox like strung him up with the rope. So like, did they exit the doorway? Was it like,
Interesting.
huh?
I pictured
don't know.
I'm picturing the scene from Labyrinth with the little mini people when they tie up. What's her face?
Yeah.
I know they're normal size, but that's just what popped in my head. Welcome to my
Yeah.
brain.
That's okay. Okay, so I say she tells him, but now I can say Brigida?
Yeah, we get a little bit more information.
Okay, so she tells him that Slayer is not old, but his evil is ancient. And I went, okay, I'm lost then. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck. I don't know if it's a snake guy. I don't know if it's a Forsaken.
You know
now
what?
I'm lost.
Sometimes you're not supposed to know right now
And
everything.
that's fine,
Yeah.
I guess.
Just
That's
like
the
put a
first
pin
little
in it.
sprinkle. I mean, it's the first time you're meeting this person. You're not supposed to know who
Yeah.
it is immediately.
Or
Okay.
is it? Ooh.
Okay. So he wants to know who she is, and he feels like he's met her before. And then she says that she's broken too many of the prescripts already.
Okay.
Now,
So
this is the part that I've been waiting for.
Okay, cool. Okay, we got there.
So
is it the prescripts part or that he's met her
Prescripts.
before?
prescripts. So prescripts. I don't know if just real quick. Prescripts. The word prescripts means a command or an order or even a law. That's what that
Okay.
means.
Okay.
So we know now, or you know now, that this person is Brigitte Silverbow, a hero of the Horn. She has to follow commands from who wrote them.
That's a good
What
question.
are the other prescripts? Because it's not the prescript that I'm breaking. It's
No, there's
Don't
lots.
talk to people.
Yeah, don't talk to people
So-
if you're allowed in the dream world. Just hang out there.
exactly.
Yeah,
And
okay.
then who is enforcing
said prescripts.
said prescripts?
Well, here's another question. We know that the Horn of Valir is from before the Age of Legends.
Yep.
We do?
We do know that.
Yes.
Do I
They
know
said
that?
it was yes. They
Yeah.
said
You
it.
should
during-
know that.
Yeah, they did say it during book one that it was left over from the age
Duh.
from
What was
before
I
the age of
thinking?
And
Legends.
Not
and then also
remembering that
remember
from
Matt
book one.
Matt tossed it over the wall
Yeah.
in Falma when they recaptured the Horn of Valir.
Oh, yeah.
And he tossed it, and then Ingtar was like, "Oh my god, what are you doing? Why are you
Yeah.
throwing it over the wall?"
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like,
Well,
"It's fine."
Yeah,
It's just
it
a
survived
fucking
this
French
long.
horn. It's just a French horn. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
He's not a thinker, Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's
but it's
why I
probably
love-
not going to get scratched. But anyways, but that's a good question. Is like who, when, what, where, why, how, all that good stuff.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay,
Very
go.
good point.
Answer his question. Come on.
It's Archer Hawkwing.
No, he wasn't.
Otter Hawkwing's younger than
He's the
Bridget.
leader. No, it's whoever's
The soul of
of
Archer Hawkwing.
Archer
four
Hawkwing is
times?
clearly, reborn. He's Archer Hawkwing, or
He
he's
was kind of
someone
like the
else
leader
reborn.
man.
He's the leader guy.
He like met all of them.
Maybe he's actually way older than them.
Well, that would make sense if souls are reborn.
Well,
for all
Otter
eternity.
Hawkwing. We know when Otter Hawkwing was from, though. Like we know.
No. But Archer
She's talking about
Hawkwing's
Archer Hawkwing's soul. Yeah.
used
So-
to be someone else, and he
When-
was reborn. Just
When
like
the people are reborn, or at least the people that we've seen that are reborn in the wheel, are the people, like, are their original selves. So like when Arter Hawkwing came out in the thing, he was Arter Hawkwing. He wasn't
Oh.
anyone else. Like, he was Arter Hawkwing.
Okay.
So you're talking like, is it first iteration?
Yeah. Like they knew they knew him as Luce Theron.
Right.
Things to think about.
Yeah. Okay. Then it's the creator.
There you go.
I don't freaking know.
It's
I don't-
aliens,
It's,
man. It's aliens.
It's Bella.
It's Lanfear. Okay. So the answer is always Lanfear. She's the answer to everything.
That's fair. That's good. I'm good with that.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Oh,
this
yeah.
is where not Rand. What? My brain. Okay. I'm going to try again. Okay. So this is where Perrin thinks he sees a shadow of a guy who looks like Michelangelo.
Okay. So also, this is not supposed to be necessarily the secret.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. There's a
Because
few
they tell
pointers. So
you-
like why? Okay. So recall.
so it's a shadow of a guy with like sword sticking up out of his back.
Yeah.
And he turns around and the guy's not there. I don't know. It's like a whole thing.
Okay, so this is the whole thing. It's like he clearly sees a shadow, but he doesn't actually see the dude. He sees like the shadow, something. So there's something funky going on where he can't actually see them unless they want him to see them.
Okay, sure.
Right. So it's like a kind of a weird thing.
So
But
does that mean Brigida wanted Egwene to see her, or is Egwene just like that strong that she like caught Brigida off guard?
these are questions you need to ask.
I
right?
did.
So it's
I
like, we
asked
don't-
it. Are you gonna answer
No,
it?
I'm not going to answer it.
Okay.
So, but this is the whole thing. So back in chapter 47 of the Great Hunt, during the Horn of Valyr sequence, when we got the description of Brigida, we also got description of a man named Gaidal Kane, who was a swarthy man with the hilts of his two swords sticking above his broad shoulders.
That's like this guy.
So it's like literally like the
What's his name? Gaidal King.
Gaidal
Yeah,
Kane.
Gaidal King.
Yeah. So he's
And
also
is
the
he
dude
also
with
a
two swords.
hero?
Well, yeah, he came
One
with
of the heroes.
he
Okay.
came with the
When
horn.
Matt,
So it's like,
when Thom tells the story of the heroes of the Horn, like when he tells that story,
yeah,
during the telling of that story, he talks about Brigitte and her and Gaidal Kane were together. So
Yeah.
and he describes
They're like a
Gaidal
duo.
Kane as being a big dude with two swords.
And that's who this guy is.
Yeah.
Fucking Ninja Turtle.
so like this is who it's
So-
supposed to be.
It's Leonardo.
Leonardo. That's who it is.
Yeah, Leonardo is a hero.
Mm-hmm. Raphael has the scythe swords.
They have a
Who-
name. I don't know
Who
what
has
they are.
the nunchucks?
Size.
Scythe.
Yeah.
What did I say? Scythe?
Sai. Yeah.
Sai.
Sai. Sai.
Sai.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Donatello has a staff.
Bow.
Staff.
Yeah.
And then it's Michelangelo has the nunchucks.
Correct.
Michelangelo has nunchucks.
Raphael has the Sai. Is that what they're
Yeah.
called? You said?
Yeah.
Okay. Leonardo has the
Leonardo. Okay.
swords.
It's Leonardo.
Yep.
Cool. I knew that. I want to get turtles and name them all. Anyway.
What does Casey have?
A hockey stick.
Casey? Who cares? I don't know what she has.
He's one of your people. He has a hockey stick.
Casey has a hockey stick, and Casey's a dude. Isn't Casey a dude?
No.
Yeah.
Casey's a
What?
dude.
I don't
April.
know.
April.
Oh, April.
April.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Casey just has like a hockey mat, like an old school hockey mat.
He's got a cricket bat and a hockey stick.
It's like, what kind of character is this?
I don't know.
A
fucking-
Canadian one.
He's the Canadian.
Okay, so
Ugh.
Perrin sees a shadow. It's clearly this guy. What's his name?
Gaidal Kane.
That guy.
Okay.
And
Okay.
she's like, he's right. I shouldn't be talking to you. And then he turns around and she's gone.
I have to leave now.
My
Yeah.
planet needs me. So it's a Poochie moment.
It is.
Yeah. Okay. So Perrin is like, well, that was weird. And Perrin was like, what was?
No, Hopper.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm too worked up.
You
Okay.
gotta do it again.
I got to do it again. Okay. Perrin is like, well, that was weird. And Hopper is like, what was? There was no one here.
Yeah. So again, that's kind of why I'm like, it kind of seems like if they don't want you to see them, you can't see them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like because Brigida
But
comes
did
in.
Hopper not see Perrin like chatting with someone?
Well, that's what he says. Hopper was like, "You're talking to the wind, man. I don't know."
Oh.
So Brigida like does something to like let Perrin see her.
I thought
but
it was
not
a wolf
Hopper.
thing. I thought because Perrin has wolfy abilities, he can see the wolves, but because she doesn't, she can't see the dead wolf.
Well, she can see Hopper because she's like,
Yeah,
"Oh
she-
shit, you can talk to the
yeah,
wolf."
She sees Hopper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You're
the
right.
only thing we can kind of determine here, and then Gaidal Kane doesn't let Perrin really see him
Yeah.
because of the prescripts, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like it's weird. It's weird,
It's all weird.
and we don't
He
really
dro-
know. the
Robert Jordan
actual-
drops that one word there, and it sets up like a whole nother series. You could
Yeah,
just.
I
just
would
based
love
off
to
of
read that
one word.
series.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I know. So much. There's so much extra I want from this, but I should probably get through like I don't know, 11 more books. What is it?
We'll
How many
talk.
more do I?
Yeah.
A lot.
Okay.
Okay, so Hopper tells him that he should avoid his old home. And turns out there are no wolves there now. They either fled or were killed because Slayer walks the dream there, which means he's just like killing all the wolves. I have no clue who this is anymore.
So
I don't know what's going on.
here's just like a little speculation. I just want to kind of maybe throw out there, see what if you're gonna pick it up or not.
Okay.
So we've got this Slayer dude who's like uber evil. He's killing things and skinning wolves. We know that Perrin came to the Two Rivers because of the White Cloaks, but we also found that Padden Fane is like with and influencing the White Cloaks. So could this uber evil Slayer dude possibly be some sort of like Padden Fane in the dream world weirdo guy?
Nope.
No?
Padden
Different
Fane
people?
has got enough going on. Like Padden Fane has so many different complexities. I don't buy it. I don't think
You don't buy Padden Fane in the dream world being this Slayer dude?
No.
Okay.
Padden Fane has his own motives, being like Mordeth and Padden Fane and this. Like he's got his own
Evil trajectory.
He's got his own trajectory.
I like the way you put that. He's got enough complexities. He doesn't need any.
That's fair. I was just like the only like crazy weirdo evil super bad guy we know.
Well, we have like Bayard who
he's just a White Cloak though.
I know he hates Perrin. He hates the wolves. Like that's the only other thing I can think of.
But it's like Bayard,
to what's happening around the Two Rivers right now. Unless in the year since they've left,
they've been gone a while,
there's like a lot more shadow evil build up crap going on around in the Two Rivers. But it seems like the shadow and like Ishmael, like all of them were all like Beelzemon, right? Was Ishmael? So they were all like following the three guys. It's not like they stayed around there. So I'm not. This is like completely throwing me for a loop. I knew you were going to ask me a bunch of questions.
Yeah.
And I have to say that this is all new and I really don't know.
Yeah.
This is like one of the first, times in a while. I'm like back to square one where I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. Like sometimes you can kind of figure out.
That's why I love going with people when they read through this the first time. It's so because I can remember doing that myself, like going through the first time. And that's my favorite part about the way Robert Jordan writes is like you think you have a grasp on it, and then it's like, what the hell?
Nope.
Yeah, because
not even close.
Well, I'm someone who really likes to predict things, and I like to logic things out and pick things together.
Watching movies with her is just the fucking worst because it's like at the beginning of the movie she'll be like, "Oh, that dude totally is the murderer."
Yeah, that's me.
I'll be like,
me and you are the same person. I do the same thing. My wife.
I know. We'll watch the movie and I'll be like, "Oh my god, how did you know that?"
That was obvious.
Yeah, yeah. My wife hates when I do that too.
When we first started in the first like little bit, our first like book, people were like sending us shit being like, "There's no way she's a first reader. She clearly knows what's going on." And I was like, "I really don't, guys. I like this isn't just some weird." Acting gig.
No, like, I can attest that when we spoke yesterday.
Yeah.
She's definitely a first time reader. I know.
Well, it's kind of funny, but like I mean picking up but it's a unique take, right? Because like with what she does.
I hate when I can't piece it together because I want to take like the logic pieces of the puzzle and I want to find them and put them together.
It's there. It's not there. I will tell you that
she is at an advantage though because she reads it once, she reads it again, takes notes. We talk about it in detail, and then she listens to our conversation and edits it. So she's getting like 4 read-throughs for one chapter. And with any of us who ever read through the book, you read the chapter, and then if you were confused, you were probably like, "Oh, that was weird," and then you kept reading.
Yeah,
you didn't do a book report on every chapter.
Yeah. Like I didn't stop and reread and dissect it and go in detail. It's like I just kept reading.
Well, it's so funny because like I'm halfway through book 4 of 15.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm an expert. Like it's just like it's the strangest feeling that I feel like such a devout fan of the series being like not even a quarter of the way through. Like it's such a strange experience.
Well, here there's another thing that will happen later in the series. I'm not going to refer to it at all, but Robert Jordan said, "Oh, you should be able to figure it out." No one ever figured out what it was.
What?
I'm
Like,
so excited. I just want to make her
Yeah.
wait like 3 fucking years and be like, suck it.
yeah, you should.
I had to
Because
wait.
we had to
you
wait
have to
fucking
wait.
10 years.
Well, yeah, but guess what?
No, there's like one moment and it pissed everybody off because Robert Jordan was like, it's pretty obvious if you read the text.
Yeah. And no one,
And
no
everyone's like,
one
are
got it.
you kidding me? Are you kidding me? No, it's so funny. And you're going to not know. And then I'm going to be like,
So just know that, I mean, a lot of the times that you can't do it, it's because that's how good Robert Jordan was at hiding this shit. But it's there. It
Yeah.
is there.
But it's
Once
like
you
he
know,
almost,
you can
like,
go back
meant,
and
like,
reread it and you'll see it.
Like he didn't even try to hide it. And then he was like, what?
Yeah.
well, and then it's like when you see it and you're like, you
It's
kidding
like,
me?
It's well, we just got through 2 chapters where it was like my mind exploded because the Tinkers and the Aiel have the same
That's
backstory.
like definitely
which
one of
is
the
like-
best. Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
It's a really cool bit of lore.
And
that
it
he
makes
did.
so much sense that it's annoying.
Well, and again, that's like a huge, and again, it's one of the things that we're going to go into like in detail about the whole, but I mean, if you look at the religious connotation to who the Aiel are, it's like when you look at how the religion breaks off into other religions, it makes like perfect sense considering who RJ was.
Yeah.
Did we finish the chapter? We still
No,
have like
we
another
haven't.
that's pretty
paragraph
much
to
the end,
go.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty much the end. So Perrin wants to know who she is, and he feels like he's met her before. And she says that she's broken too many prescripts. Then he thinks he sees a shadow. We already read all that.
Yeah, we're
Never
past
mind.
that.
No, we're past that. We're past that.
He's waking up.
Hopper says to avoid his old home.
Yeah.
That's where we're at. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is where we're at. That's just for my editing. So Perrin says he has to go home, and Hopper says, well, you better take care because the day of the last hunt draws near and they will run together in the last hunt, which is like freaking adorable.
That's pretty sweet.
And they have like a super heartfelt like goodbye as if they're never going to see each other again. What?
What are you thinking? Like never again?
Well,
Last battle. Last hunt. Last battle.
I
last
know,
hunt.
but I think that Perrin thinks he's like, it would be nice if I die if I could come here and run with Hopper. But I think that Perrin legit
Right.
thinks that like he's done. He's a dunzo man.
Oh, he for sure thinks that.
Yeah.
But I doubt it.
I mean,
There's
like,
no way.
it
If
d- yeah.
anything, all the White Cloaks are just gonna die. Like, there's no way that Perrin is just gonna be like, derp to derp to derp, please kill me. And they're like, okay, and then just like kill him.
this
and
is
that's
Perrin
it.
swinging his axe back and forth.
Yeah.
This is
Oh.
YouTube exclusive, people.
Yeah.
That's- It's totally a proper martial arts move right
Yeah.
there. I can
Yeah,
tell you've been
I've watched
trained.
enough videos.
Yeah. So I just don't buy it. I can't believe it. If
You're not on board with the Perrin dying thing here in book 4.
I mean, no.
Okay. He could be a Force ghost with Hopper in.
No.
Okay. I don't know.
No. But anyway, if there's anything that's gonna make me emotional, like about anything, it's like this. The Hopper Perrin connection is the most adorable thing about Perrin,
Yeah,
and I love it.
I agree. Okay,
But
that's fair.
so Perrin wakes up from his dream and he switches guard places with Gaul, and he tells Gaul that things may be worse in the 2 rivers than he thought. And Gaul says, "Yup, makes sense." And then anyway, I don't know. So then I want to know who this guy is because it's connected to all the stuff. Like
Yeah,
Slayer.
Ravens in the mountains, Shadow Spawn at the Waygate. Perrin is thinking like, who's this guy? I'm thinking, who's this guy? We want to know.
Yeah.
The
And I mean,
people want to know. And the
More.
people want to keep reading the book.
More importantly, so
Are you the
we've
people?
got Perrin.
I'm the people.
On top of this, though, because we've got Perrin who's been away from home. He moved away for college for a few years,
Yeah.
and now he's coming back.
No. He moved away for backpacking across Europe.
He moved away for like 2 years backpacking. So it's like he's been gone for
He
a
didn't go
while.
to college. He just went backpacking.
Okay, call it what you want, but that's the thing.
That's what I call
it's
it.
not like a short stint. It's been like a while, And now Perrin's coming back. When he left, he was like, you know, didn't have the wolfy stuff, the yellow eyes. He's probably a little bit, you know, bigger than he was.
Like maybe
He's
been a
matured.
pretty big
He's
guy.
definitely matured.
Emotionally, yeah, I would say he's matured. Yeah.
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 Really? I think when we left, Perrin was more mature than he is coming back.
Really?
Well,
Being
Okay.
in this relationship, and I mean, I have to like say this maybe because he's like whatever young dude in his first real relationship with somebody who's also like immature and young and
Yeah.
possessive and jealous. I would say that he's probably declined on the maturity
Really? Okay.
because when he left, he like, and not maybe in a bad way, but he was almost too like stern. He was too like for his age
He's
anyway.
innocent
Like
too. Maybe matured
Yeah.
is the wrong word. Like he's
Yeah.
more worldly now. Like he's got a lot. He's been
Worldly.
through a lot. You know, like he's seen a lot.
yeah.
So he's where before,
I'm
like the worst
hoping
thing
that
that ever
the
happened
next-
to him was, you know, like he stubbed his toe or some shit. You know, like he didn't.
Right.
Now he's
Or like he
killed
accidentally
people.
knocked someone over with his shoulder and was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah,
So, I
and
mean-
now he's killed people and
Yeah.
He
and
has.
fought Trollocs and Murdrel and humans
And-
too.
And because he didn't have a proper conversation with his friends with proper communication, he thinks he's the only one who's done that.
Yeah.
But also keep in mind, he's coming back to the rivers because he's killed people,
Yeah.
and he's expecting to be killed now.
Yeah. So this
So
is
he's
this
a
is an ongoing.
murderer.
This is kind of like an ongoing joke in the Watt community, at least for like the last 17 years. This would be a 2 or 3 book series if they had cell phones.
Yeah.
Even pagers. Like let's like we don't even need sophisticated technology.
Yeah.
We just need some
Literally
level
anything.
of any type of communication.
Yeah.
But it is interesting to note like how, but the point I was actually getting at is like when you leave home and then you come back to like your old high school buddies and your
it's all,
hometown,
yeah.
like you're different than who you are when you left, and you
And they
don't,
expect you to be the same.
and you
And you're
probably
not.
you might not want to be the same person, right?
Yeah.
You might not want to be the person that you were when you left because you're different now that you've come back.
Yeah,
So it's like,
fair.
how is like his family going to take him? The Luhan's going to take him. Like his friends, how are they going to take him?
Well, and if you know what, that's all well and good, but if the White Cloaks are already there, it's not gonna matter. He's not gonna be able to sit down and like have conversations about how different he is if they're like there doing what they've done in all the other
Mhm.
fucking villages where
So,
they
yeah.
like hold people up in the inn, don't give them like water and food, and like kill 3 people to scare them.
Yeah.
Like,
Can I end this on a nice note?
yes,
Or not a nice note?
please do.
Okay. So one of the things I do, Tom, is I pick out my favorite chapter of each book.
Okay.
So like the Eye of the World, my favorite chapter was Dragonmount, because whenever I start rereading the series, Dragonmount just gives me chills. I love it. Right. The Great Hunt was Flicker Flicker because it's so pivotal for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, it was
The
great.
Dragon Reborn, I picked the Galad and Gawain versus Matt fight because it was such a fun scene. I love that action.
100%.
But I pick the next chapter as my favorite chapter for this book. I gave the Ruidian ones like an honorary, but like the next chapter,
He's like,
Yeah.
thinking, what's the next chapter?
it's
Do you
my
want to read it? Do you want to tell me what the title is?
it's called Homecoming. Yeah. So it's my favorite, but it's the personal. It's the personal.
It's one of my
reasons that
favorite
really hits
parent
me.
chapters. It's definitely one of my favorite parent chapters.
It's a doozy. So
Homecoming, you say. So
Uh-huh.
we're okay.
And I
Okay.
actually spoke about that. I spoke about that chapter in one of the first episodes of our show, and
You should watch it.
specifically wanting to see the scene, a specific scene from this chapter in the TV show. Like I can't wait for them to do
That's
the
what
TV
he
show.
always says. He
Uh-huh.
always says, I can't wait to see this in the TV show. And I've shut him up like about that already.
I think that I know that you know what I know that you know.
Oh, 100%. I know
You know,
exactly what
yeah.
you're talking about.
Anyways,
I can't wait. I can't wait
Okay.
to read it.
You
But
gotta
I'm ready to
Yeah.
I'm ready to say though that this is part of the pattern now.
yeah, it's part of the pattern.
You say it.
Tom, you got to say it's part of the pattern now.
It's part of the pattern. It's part of the pattern now, definitely.
Awesome. Thank you.
Good.
And thank you so much for being here with
Yeah,
us.
that was
I had
fun.
a ton of fun. It was so much fun.
Do you want to come back? I don't know if it's too soon to
100%.
ask.
Yeah, whenever you want me.
Can we ask you for a second date, like right after the first?
You guys
date
are going to
ends?
have to
Sure.
do a bonus episode for sure.
Yeah, I want to. I want to do that.
I'm
I want
down
that
for
to happen.
whatever, man.
Okay.
I'll talk about what all day.
Awesome.
We'll make that happen.
Yeah. I want to come back. I want to come back when you do the next chapter really bad. If not, I'm watching and I'm participating, or listening. Oh, you're not going to do it live. Shit.
No, we don't do it live, but
Yeah, I know.
we do
But
have a podcast
I'm
that
definitely
comes
going to
out.
listen to it if you don't have me back, because I got to hear your reaction
Look at
to.
that. We've like gained a fan.
Yeah,
Well,
100%.
I mean, right now, like live is so like in between on how it works with our schedule, just because like
Yeah, well, you
Yeah.
guys are parents. It's tough.
yeah. So,
Oh, and I
when-
can't believe how it takes so much longer to record live, in our opinion. When it's just us sitting here, we can just like do it, right? Like
Yeah.
a 2-hour episode is, or like an hour and a half episode is like an hour and 40 minutes recording. Like we can
Yeah.
bang it out, right? But
That's good.
with this,
we get
it's-
distracted and
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
my
How was that
ADHD brain,
chat?
my ADHD brain will go off topic every 5 seconds. So
No,
There's-
but it's so good, especially when it pertains to this.
I like this comment from Jason. Everyone dies at Perrin and Gall's wedding. It's like the red wedding. I'm just thinking from like
Oh yeah. But I do like the Perrin and Gall connection. I
I
was
dig it.
actually going to talk about that,
that's so.
but we like got into things like too
Uh,
much.
we talked about at one of the JordanCons, we talked about changes that they could make for the show, and I said that they should make, like, if they were going to make one of the characters gay, Perrin and Matt would be the best to do.
Yeah.
Perrin
You
and
know,
or
I
Perrin
actually-
and
and I
or
mean-
Matt.
Right. And I get that like things later obviously don't allow this to work, but I think that Egwene and Avienda's connection is like super strong, and I like shipped them right away.
I don't mean having to have them together. Just
Yeah.
leave, like, you could leave the entire story the way it is and just change Fael to a man if you wanted.
That's
And
true.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
would work out the same.
Like
That's
it doesn't
interesting.
act like yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of open, like, for I mean, even the way I feel like RJ wrote it, like there is open to changes, that it's not like gonna
Yeah.
change the story in any like you can make it so
Well, no, and it's
open.
like back to that whole conversation, because a bunch of the cast, are obviously people of color, and I don't
Yeah.
understand how that needs to change the story
It doesn't.
necessarily.
That's
No,
it's
no.
people putting our world's connotations on what that means into an
Well,
imaginary world.
Yeah, yeah.
And the amount of times that I see, like, even just in the writing in this early on, they're noting the differences between Egwene's dark skin versus
Elaine's white skin.
fair
Yeah.
skin.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's like literally noted along the way
It's like,
the
hey,
entire time.
It's like the Two
Yeah.
Rivers folk are like darker than other
Yeah.
people. It's like, yeah.
Elida says, you're a little light skinned to be from the Two Rivers to Ran.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
she meets him in the first book. So
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, and then when like Matt and Ren first to get to Camelot, it's like, oh man, they're darker.
yeah.
It's like
I
all
spent
different shades of people.
I spent many time arguing with racist people when they first announced the cast on
Yeah.
a lot of the Wheel
I
of Time.
believe you.
It's like, hey
Yeah.
guys,
I just like don't even need that in my life. I don't even want to look at it.
like, it's like it's not a bunch of white people in the Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
What are we
Yeah.
talking about?
And Robert Jordan did do a really good job of writing a lot of the characters in such a way that you can put yourself in the character. Like, he
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah.
That's
super
fair.
describe them all the time.
Like he leaves the physical descriptions for a lot of things very open,
Yeah,
and like the
vague-ish.
personality traits
Yeah,
is what he describes.
yeah,
Which is nice. Like, that's good too.
Yeah. I mean, but that's kind of the point, is like it doesn't matter what the physical traits are. Like in so many, it doesn't matter. It's like, oh, Rand is tall.
Yeah.
Perrin is also tall, but not as tall. Matt is tall, but not as tall. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. So how do you
thanks for
normally
joining
close-
everybody who kind of like listened in here.
How do you normally close the show?
We already closed
We already
it.
closed it. Well, I already stopped
the wheel. Right. Okay.
Yeah, part of the pattern thing.
part of the pattern.
We just like end it. We're like, yo, done.
Yeah,
Chop,
I
chop.
don't know how to end a live stream because
We're just live
we've
streaming.
never done one. That's not true. We've done one live stream of an episode before, and it was during that podcast-a-thon.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the charity for the Cyber Smile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were on for our chunk and we did a full episode recording for the podcast-a-thon.
Yeah.
And oh, cool. See, now I've opened the chat and I'm so distracted. I don't know how you did it with the whole time with it going, because I just like would be so distracted if I saw it.
It comes from running panels.
Oh, fair. Yeah.
Not multitaskers here.
No, we tried. Yeah.
It's kind of funny because we were also talking because with like I've guested with Matt a couple of times. We've both been on with Matt once, and we're gonna be on again. But like Matt runs like a seamless YouTube, like it is 3, 2, 1 action, and
well,
pen and then pen and pen.
Matt's good at it too, but his son is fantastic.
Yeah. I heard that they did a little switcheroo a little while back.
Where
your son got to,
because he got 10,000 followers. So
yeah. That was good. But it's like
that makes me feel old too, because I remember when he was a baby.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah, because Matt is such a.
But I mean, he's been in the Wheel of Time community for
forever.
A long time.
He ran Theoryland. The website
which again is like I've been there. Yeah. Well, it's also kind of like funny.
People.
It's funny for me just being as like because I remember like in 2008 or something like that, I would like download the MP3 files from Dragonmount on different people talking about like Wheel of Time topics. Like I remember there was like a MP3 file on like Angreal that we've seen so far, and Angreal, and like just like little MP3 files. Like I don't even know who was doing them, but it's like
they might have been from DragonCon, because they used to have the Wheel of Time track at DragonCon.
But it's like I downloaded it onto my MP3 player that was like this whole thing.
No, it was probably a big thing
that could hold that was able to hold like 20 minutes
6 of them.
Nothing.
But it's like I would listen to that, and like I remember that and being like, I remember when our friend told me about like, hey man, there's this website about Wheel of Time called Dragonmount. You should go to it. It's awesome. And like we would like check
like high school.
We would like we would like check that out while we're playing like World of Warcraft.
Yep.
And it's like, and then to find out that all you guys are like real people who've like done this stuff. So it's just like
I got into it. When I first got into it, we were actually playing the Wheel of Time tabletop game, the RPG.
Oh my god! Okay.
So I was reading. I was reading the first 3 books as we were playing that game.
Oh my god! Yeah.
And we were playing through the books. My friend's older brother was running the campaign.
That's so cool. Like that's. Like I could play that.
Well, it's funny because like as a child, I like had all
done. Like the game mechanics are bad.
Oh.
Yeah, I've heard it, but it's like as a child, I had bought all the D&D books, like it was 3.5 at that point, but I didn't have any friends to play with. So I would just like read, and I just actually recently, like in the last couple of years, was able to find friends who played D&D and started. So it's like it was something that I had done at like researched and like looked at and all that stuff as a kid, and then finally now, but it's like
now we get to, especially over COVID, it's been like, playing digitally has been.
But it's funny because I talked about it. It's that the way that I've always pictured Ogier is I think about the 3.5 monster manual, the artwork of the ogre. If you Google it, you'll find it, but it's like the hunched over monster with like
yeah,
the
yeah.
longer neck and like the club. And it's
I
like
picture Shrek
I'll
That's,
find it right
that's
now.
not bad.
I'll do it.
That's not a bad.
because he's got
assumption.
the little ears.
Yeah, regrettably, I picture the art from the front of the RPG book because
Ah,
that was some of the first art that I ever saw of the Wheel of Time, and it's terrible. But
What do you do?
I'm gonna find the picture.
Okay.
the art from the art actually there. Oh wow! Yeah.
Oh no.
That is
Yeah.
straight up what I've always pictured Loyal as.
No, that's
Oh,
a
my God,
no.
Yeah.
CK, the issue that I have where I am in the series, so now there's been humans cast as our characters, and there's also so much fan art surrounding our characters. So
Yeah.
like where I am, like it's difficult for me. The last chapter we had with Moraine, where she
You guys can see this.
run. Oh,
That's
yeah.
the art on the front of the RPG book. Like,
See, and it's such a different picture. Like
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
always pictured Loyal as an ogre,
As like a crazy
big
yeah.
monster man who's like just the sweetheart, but like
Well,
has
that's how people in like Camelin fear him.
they look at
as a
him like he's a
Trolloc,
big monster
They think
Trolloc.
he's
Yeah.
a Trolloc. Yeah.
Yeah.
they say that he almost looks like a Trolloc.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's like Trollocs
I picture
themselves
him
are
way
also like
cuter.
human. They're human,
Ish.
but with like a beak. So it's like the
Or
human
whatever.
eyes with like a beak or like a snout. It's like
Yeah.
terrifying when you actually visualize it.
Yeah.
Like
A husky elf giant. I like that.
I know everybody's like, no, but I'm just saying that's me as a kid reading Wheel of Time,
Yeah,
knowing
yeah.
what I knew about fantasy and D&D and stuff was like, that's just like what happened, man.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I, for the first time, when Moraine runs into Ruidian, for the
Yeah.
first time, I pictured her as Rosamund Pike doing that. Like while I was reading, like, because I started reading before the casting came out,
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
which was, I think, a blessing. But now there's been so much that it's starting to corrode my
See, and with
judgment
me,
a little bit.
my brain has completely
But I'll
separated.
never see.
I have completely
Egwene
separated
as-
like my book mind of who I think and feel the way people are is always going to be completely separate from the TV characters. Like
Which
it's
is nice
not going
that
to
you
be.
have that, because if I start watching the show before I'm done the series,
Yeah,
like
it's
that's
just so ingrained into me now that it's like the TV show is like I'll have like a TV show version of my brain and like
Yeah.
a book version of
Well,
my
they're
brain.
different turnings of the wheel.
Huh,
Huh?
nice. That's like how I feel about Harry Potter, though.
Yeah.
Like I still picture my own Snape. Like Alan Rickman was never my Snape.
So yeah.
But no, that's a nice thing for you, because people tell me all the time that they're so jealous of my first read and they wish that they could go back to their first read and whatever. But like I'm jealous that you have the whole series finished in your own mind before any of this hype, because you have that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I won't have that.
Well, and whose fault is that? Because I tried to get her to read it.
Well, and not only
dozen
you,
years ago.
lots of people tried to get me to
Yeah.
read it. I tried
Yeah.
to read it one time.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
Wheel of Time is one of the reasons my wife went on our first date with me.
Hey,
Aw.
okay.
That's the
'Cause-
best.
She says my grammar was very poor when we started speaking, because
Interesting.
it's actually a really funny weird way that we met. So like I've known her and her family since I was in like 4th grade, but I didn't know, like I knew her brother. I was friends with her brother. I didn't know she existed until her brother started complaining about her stealing bandwidth when he was trying to play StarCraft. Then
Nice.
then me and her actually met over an internet dating site like OkCupid or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And when I first messaged her, my grammar was very poor, apparently.
Ooh.
Like I wrote the letter U instead of writing U.
Uh-huh.
Nah.
Yeah.
But when she read my profile, it was like, oh, I love the Wheel of Time, and these are my favorite characters, and I play World of Warcraft. And she was like, the only reason I went out on that first date with you is because you read the Wheel of Time.
Which is funny because you spent the first like 7 years of a relationship trying to get me to read the series.
As any person should try.
It's true.
Yeah. It all worked out.
Yeah.
Because here we are.
It worked out. It did. As
I said,
it's like the Wheel
I'll
Wolf.
only read that book series if we can do a podcast about my experience.
Yeah.
It's
And I was
fun.
like, well,
It's fun. I love being I love like every single person that I've ever recruited to the series. I'm like, just text me, please text me when you get to fun parts. Like I don't care what time it is. I just want to see your reaction when you.
Yeah. You got to listen to some of our episodes. I think you'll like them.
I will.
Okay, and then you can come back if you want to. If you're cool.
100%.
I'm totally down. I'm totally
100%.
down.
This was so much fun.
So much fun.
This was great.
Yeah.
I love talking about Wheel of Time.
Yeah, and can you give us like a little bit of a heads up about what's happening with JordanCon? Because we're gonna from Canada, we're gonna need a little extra time to plan if we're coming.
Yeah, no,
if we're allowed
100%.
to come.
And I'll hook you up with the media person, like the person that does the media, and he'll put you on his mailing list for when we have information. Right now, it's pretty much what we've said publicly, which is we're shooting for some time in the summer.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is helpful because I'm a teacher.
Yeah.
So summer's good time to travel. Although in this world right now, no time is a good time for us to travel.
No time is a good time.
Yeah.
But if we can make it work from Canada, we will. We just need some heads up. So
of course.
To get like grandparents involved and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Grandparents
for the kids.
My dad's he's watching.
Hi Dad.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. But
okay, are we ending this?
I think we should end. End.
Okay.
Bye guys. Thanks
Goodbye,
for
everybody.
everyone listening.
Thank you.
Like I don't even know. This has been so long. This has been so fun. Okay, so I go stop live stream. That's how I stop it.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Oh, my dad said hi.